if you need.
Well, we are live, it seems like. I've got an ashtray right here, my friend. Before we get started, we have a great guest here, Keith Saarloos. But before we get started, as a reminder, if you go down on your bike, dial 911, get the help that you need. But your next call needs to be to Law Tigers. Law Tigers is supporting this podcast, and we appreciate all their help and support, and they will help you out as well. So let's get into this. What did you bring us?
So
A winery.
You call, I come, man. This
Right?
is easy. So, hi, hello again.
Hello.
Hi, guys. It's fun to visit you guys down here. This is great. I brought a little bit of what we do. So, we have Saarloos and Sons is a small little winery up in Los Olivos, California. It's about 30 minutes north of Santa Barbara, and we are a family farming operation. We're pretty much the last from our plow to your porch TM winery that there is. So we actually have planted every single one of our vines. We still farm it all ourselves. We grow it ourselves. We pick it ourselves. We make it ourselves, design labels ourselves. And the full life cycle of our product is about 4 miles until I put it in the car and brought it down to you guys today. So brought you a couple of wines that I'm really, really proud of. And you guys have been so gracious to come up and see us a bunch of times, and just wanted to sit down and have a cigar and a glass of wine.
Yeah, and actually, we do have a couple videos of his vineyard. You can go back and check those out. It's great. He also rides Harleys, Indians, whatever, motorcycles.
I'm an enthusiast.
He's an enthusiast.
I'm a motorcycle enthusiast.
He's been to Sturgis a bunch of times.
Mhm.
We've ripped with him at Sturgis a few times as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
Oh, that's right. And we were passing everybody in 2 lanes, and he was one of the lead animals.
Yep.
I love it.
So you, I mean,
What do
it's
you wanna
not
know?
such a small winery. One thing, it's a piece of artwork that you and your family have created. That the vineyards and the way the hills are rolling and the tours that you give people,
Yeah.
is so cool. Talk a little bit about your Saturday mornings or your Sunday mornings.
Well, I'm proud to say it's like we have the most photographed vineyard in Santa Barbara County, and that's because there's big, huge terraces coming down. It started off as a 14,000 Fuji apple tree farm in 1998. I grew up in Bellflower, California, which is not really wine capital of the world, right?
No.
We never had a bottle of wine on our table my entire life. And because of Southern California, it used to be, farms and dairies and things like that. And Cerritos, Bellflower, Artesia, that whole area was like known as Dairy Valley. We had a dairy supply company. My dad grew up around agriculture. And as the city of Lakewood was the first pre-planned city in America.
Oh,
And they were selling a house every 7 minutes. And that was the beginning of like American urban sprawl.
wow.
And so that kind of filled in. And my dad always dreamed of getting back to growing something from the ground and raising cattle. That was his dream. And in 1998, we did it and kind of like escaped LA a little bit. And newly married, I green acred my wife, from Long Beach and Newport Beach to up there. I'm
Beautiful wife,
Oh.
beautiful family.
5 stars.
We'll talk about that in a
I'm the
little bit.
ugliest person in my family.
I don't
100%.
understand it, to be honest with
Hey,
you.
listen, make them laugh, make them.
But look,
we're
we're
doing okay.
We're kind of all right.
Got to be charming, right? And so anyway, we moved up there. We were farming apples for a full year. We had a neighbor who was part of an upstart company called Whole Foods, and he's like, "I'll buy all your apples," and we're like, "This is easy." And then we went down to LA to deliver them, and we got turned away at the dock. So went from the highest high to the lowest low, like in 5 minutes, and a lot of crying and throwing up. And my mom, being who she is, said, we can only eat so many apple pies. Why don't you turn them out and put them in vines? So we started planting vines and went down to one winery and said, "If we plant this, will you buy it from us?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Will you sign this contract?" And they're like, "Yes." And we're like, "We're in," right? And since we were basically broke at that point, we hand planted it all ourselves. And then, fast forward to 2008, right? The economy crashes, everything. I had a couple coffee shops we were barely hanging on. And my wife, I'm like, "I don't know what we're going to do." And she's like, "I think you should do the wine thing. It seems like it's everything you've ever been good at." And I was like, "I don't know." But like having, like you guys both know, it's marrying way above yourself. When you have like the love of just someone that has your back, you're like, I can't be defeated. So it was either going to kill me or we were going to succeed.
Right.
So went full blown into the wine piece of it, did it our complete own way. Like that, like Magnum has graffiti on it. And then we were the first people ever to put photos on a label, which is another great story. You're actually looking at the back of our bottles as far as the government's concerned. And I just named, because I didn't have anything, I just named them after people I love. So we have wines called like Mom, Dad, Mayhem. We make a wine for my great uncle John, who died in World War II. And it's just an homage to all the people who have made all of these decisions in life. Because like you're here, we're all here because someone decided to leave somewhere else and come here for a better life, and then kept moving and kept moving. So our little family creed is we live to honor those that have come before us, and we prepare the way for those yet to come. So in each one of our wines, it's either honoring for someone or preparing. So,
well, talk a little bit about in the winery too, because you have the.
Oh, sorry, my fault.
you have the homage with the Purple Heart and all this. Talk a little bit about, because I love, when I first met you and saw the labels, I was in love with it. I was like, this is insane. It's a great homage, and you keep the family so tight with honoring them. Yeah. And well, it's not just your mom and your dad; it's other family members and now your kids.
That's a great point, because when you walk into his winery, right in the front, there's a display case with sand from Omaha Beach, Utah Beach, from where his grandfather was, family members. I mean, that alone, you stand there and you're like, you get the chills, like, wow, this is America.
Well,
you know,
in that same vein, you know, we live in a time and place where people are arguing about things that 80 years ago people died for. And for us, it's a way to honor those people who made these great sacrifices, who weren't left and right, they were right and wrong. And for us, like John Saarloos enlisted, my grandpa went to enlist with him. They took the older brother and not the younger. And John paid the ultimate price, D-Day +6. And
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And if you watch Saving Private Ryan, if you watch that, the last battle is the Battle of Cherbourg.
Yeah.
John Sizemore plays like a version of John Saarloos, because there's a sniper in the steeple of the church. The tank shoots the steeple because that was the Battle of Cherbourg, and it fell down and killed John.
Oh,
is that how it? That's
exactly how it goes.
Wow.
And for us, it was like John Saarloos would have been forgotten. No children, had a war bride, right? But she remarried and had a family, like everybody would. And I just felt it was our responsibility to, you know, you die twice. Once when your body gives up, and the second time is when the last person says your name. And here we are, 80 years later, right? Yeah. Talking about John Saarloos and what he did for our country. And I get to be the person that picks up his flag and runs with it a little bit. And so now we're part of like Medal of Honor Foundation. I've been to backyard parties with a buddy of mine said it to me. He goes, "This is the largest gathering of Medal of Honor recipients ever." And they're all wearing them. And he's like, "This is that movie. This is that movie." And we got to kind of breathe that rarefied air with people. And it really grounds you, you know.
Yeah.
It shows you what it took and what it continues to take for us to live in a beautifully free country. Like my whole joke is, like, if you want to hate the United States, you know, watch the news, and if you want to love it, ride across it.
There you go. When you ride across
it, ride up to the winery and do a tour.
Oh yeah. Now we've been all over. We've been at Gettysburg, different battlefields. I've been standing on the corner of the Ardennes forest. No matter where I am, and I know he feels the same way. You get this very spiritual, strong feeling. You get the chills. You almost like you go back and you're like, these were young people here, young boys fighting and doing what they were asked to do without a question.
It's one of these beautiful things. Like when we went to Normandy, we went there for the 75th anniversary of D-Day. And my whole family went. My dad was still alive. We brought the whole family. And we were there in the cemetery. And my son, who was like, 11 at the time, little kid, and so we were there during the changing of the flag, right? And he instinctively just hat off, and you could hear people blink, right, because of the reverence. And one of my favorite pieces of just something I learned later was all the trees, all the grass, all the flowers that are planted there are all American plants.
Wow.
And so the boys are buried at home.
Yeah.
And if you go there, you kind of get that sense of
we're going to go there. We wanted to do
amazing.
A trip on the 80th.
Oh yeah.
We wanted to ride from an air base in England, go across the channel to Normandy, and then go into Berlin on Harleys. We got that in the works. It might happen one day, but
beautiful.
It's a dream of mine.
Every American should do it.
Matt's there now.
Yeah.
I
know, that's crazy.
Real quick, we want to thank Paul. He's doing all the engineer work. If you want to put the camera on yourself, Paul, and
Thanks, everybody. Have a
Cool
good
hat.
one. Thanks. Everybody wants it.
What did you put on the bike today?
I installed my rear suspension, Legend suspension.
Little mono action, huh?
22 Lowrider S.
There you go.
Nice.
How did it
Night
ride?
and day difference.
Night and day
Everyone,
difference.
Go to twolanelife.com. Get some Legend suspension.
Excellent.
All
plug.
right. That's Paul.
So you're kind of this just larger than life personality. And so
Bon vivant.
I had an issue with the phone yet again. I dropped
Yeah.
another phone. So for the last 4 days, 5 days, I've not been able to
Mhm.
repost some things. What's this everyday kick you're on? What the hell are you doing? Because I'm posting them.
And I appreciate it. So, back at the beginning of the year, I started. It just kind of came out of nowhere where I wanted to start a very ambitious group project.
Yep.
And the very ambitious group project really was centered on the fact that, number one, the phones have failed us, right? We have traded connectivity for community. Like, people don't wait in line at the bank. They order DoorDash at home. They order their coffee and walk in and grab it. So we're really missing the thing that makes life worth living, right? The third place, if you will. Like, people go to work, they go home, go back to work, go home, and that's kind of happened since COVID, right?
Yep.
And the third place was like, hey, let's go get a beer after work. I'll meet at the coffee shop. Like a great society needs two things: a great community. It needs a good place to get a cup of coffee in the morning, and a good pub or like place to get a drink in the night, right? Because we're doing what we should be doing,
Right.
And so I wanted to just inject a little bit back into the world with little teeny things we could do every day, which was like, it started off with
Pick up your
litter.
trash.
Just pick up litter,
Yeah.
right? Because wherever you go, if you see litter, it takes half a second. Just swipe it up, throw it in your back pocket, because right there you just made the world more beautiful for everybody who's going to be in that place, right? Push the shopping cart back.
Hold the door open.
Hold the door open for someone. Call someone that made a difference in your
Yep.
life and tell them about it. So I did it for a full 99 days.
Yeah.
And then I was actually lucky enough to be able to do something incredibly special with my son last week that I absolutely blew my mind, and I had to be totally disconnected.
Perfect.
And so I went to the 99, and I was like, okay, I don't know if I'm going to be back, but I will, And so I took this week off a little bit because just being disconnected
Yep.
with my son and not looking at phones for 2 full days doing we got to go to the Masters, which was,
Isn't that place great?
it's
Golf
heaven.
is dumb.
Golf. I do haven't had that as golf is dumb, but the part of it that I took away from it, and I've tried to keep going, which was, you have to leave your phones in your car. There's no cameras, no phones, no nothing. You're disconnected. There's phones that you can pick up and call
Anywhere in the world.
And all my
Insane.
friends, I'm like, this is your master's call, and they're like saved it on their phone. But what I realized was, and we've felt this, like, you go to Sturgis, right? You go to a rally, just somewhere where there's a gathering, right? A gathering. And that gathering, pretty soon you're way more invested in the gathering than you are like, oh, what's everybody else doing? The Coachella, like, oh, what am I missing out on? Where should I be? You're just where you should be. When we were there, what I realized was every single person there, and this is why I compare it to heaven, every single person there wants to be there. They don't want to be anywhere else.
Right.
Nowhere else. And sandwiches are $1.50 and beers are $5. And I was just there
Look
with
at
my
you
son.
light up.
Huh?
Look at you light up.
Oh,
It's you can't explain it to people.
it's heaven. And there was a point
I mean,
where
it's like someone went, even in the Pine Straw, it's like
Mhm.
Lance went over and just went and made everything perfect.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
it is, every person there is a long lost friend you've never met.
Right.
Like the whole thing with the chairs, you just put your chair out and then leave, and anybody can sit in any chair, right? And then you just get back, you're like, hey, that's my chair. They're like, oh, no problem, here you go. But at one point it was just me and my son, like sitting in the pine straw, like under a tree by 16. Like, I've only been golfing for 2 years, and I'm turning 50. There's a whole backstory to this. But me and my son are just like
Yes,
smoking a
sir.
cigar, having a cold drink. And my son, there's 50 people around us. My son goes, hey, Dad, thanks for picking me, to go with you. And I'm like, dude, you're the only one I wanted to bring.
Yeah.
Right. And he's like, I love you, Dad. And I'm like, and we say I love you all the time.
Of course.
And I'm like, I love you too, and big heart. And I look over my shoulder like this, and there's 50 dudes and wives standing there, and one dude's like, you know, and it's just this beautiful moment. And we've like, you know, bring it back to motorcycles. We've all had that, you know, where you're in the helmet, you look to your left, and there's one of your best friends. You look in your rear view, and there's one of your best friends. You're exploding at 125 miles an hour through Iowa. Allegedly, as fast as you can possibly go, and you're like, this is exactly where I want to be, you know.
I think that's why we do
Snake Boot.
I think
Enjoyed the ambitious project plant post.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna start it again next week. What should be the next one?
I don't know, man.
Call your well, the one I thought it was we were just talking about it. It was like try to find someone that made an impact in your life, that like shared something with you that you still think about, and then they probably forgot about.
I mean, I think you could do one. It would remind me, like I don't have my father anymore. You know, do we need to just say hello and thank you for what you've done for us to a loved one or your father or whomever?
In a world, I mean, this is kind of on the same topic with what all we're talking about is like, I love what we do with wine because it's a time machine, right? Like this wine is a 2023 that we worked our butts off. 2023, you know, 3 years ago, we were just coming out of COVID. Like if you go back to that, and then it's one place, one time. And for me, the rest of the world is like kind of hovering on the fast forward button.
Yep.
For years. Like we want to just get to the next thing. I want it now, you know, racing home in the car. But for me, I'm really trying to get back to like we're smoking cigars. There's a difference between a cigarette and a cigar. Like a cigarette, you're like, and you're trying to get through it real quick, and there's anxiety with it. And a cigar, and you open a glass of wine, and you're with people, you just lean back.
What wine is this?
So this is called Mayhem. On the label is my son, Keith Saarloos.
Where's he at? He's on the board somewhere. Where's he at?
He is surfing right outside Ventura. This is a special wine because we get to do things that nobody gets to do because we're 100% estate. This is a carbonic Grenache Noir. And if you're brand new to wine,
super light, super
find
crisp.
Grenache. Because it's like the most widely consumed, most drinkable wine on the planet. I call it the Paul Rudd of wines.
What is carbonic?
So carbonic is a flex for us as a winery. Since we farm everything ourselves, we're not buying fruit that's not showing up. We're like our ground to your glass. Carbonic means we picked it on just the right day, and our farming had to be so immaculate, so perfect, that there's not one cluster that has mildew, rot, or anything on it. We picked the whole hillside. We put it into a tank. We seal it. We pump CO2 into it, and then we just let it sit for about a month. And so every single berry ferments within its own skin. It's completely natural, just beautiful. It's terrifying because it's like if you buy a brand new CVO and you put it in a tank, you know, it's like actually it's like 4 CVOs. And then you're like, you can't taste it, you can't touch it, you can't influence it. And we're either going to open that door and it's going to be rot from head to toe, or it's like rainbows are going to shoot out of this thing. And rainbows shot out, you know.
Perfect. A little bit more over there.
Absolutely.
So, you know, we kind of have some parallels here because we travel all over the country. We shake hands with America. We go into small towns. Yeah. We always call our Harleys time machines.
Yes.
Because you go back in time, you meet people, and everybody has a story they want to share.
Absolutely.
Even ones that say, oh, I don't really want to talk on camera. Once they do, then they thank us because they really let their story out. And we do have some more stuff. We've had some great ride videos. Go see ours from yesterday. Fun ride videos with the Thrashing Boys, almost Sturgis vibe.
Arizona Bike Week.
We're back to some creation of our own, and we're having a blast. We are starting a tour on the 27th of this month on Route 66. So we're going to have some interviews, some fun people we're going to meet, and some crazy riding. And we're going to just keep it a good time, fun, raw, down and dirty. But that's what I like. We're on the same parallel.
Well, a lot of people ask if they could ride with us, and this is a trip that we're going to actually let that happen. So
you can do it
at Illinois Harley Davidson on the 29th at noon, and we'll be riding out from there. We'll be at the Tulsa Harley Davidson Route 66 on the 2nd We're doing a breakfast there with the hog group. So meet and greet. You can ride with us 6 miles, 66 miles, whatever you want to ride.
666. That's a long way, but hey, if you got it in you.
And then lastly, we'll be at the, on Cinco de Mayo, we'll be at the Kingman Mother Road Harley Davidson with the taco truck at around noon.
So you heard it.
Should
if
be
you
cool.
want to ride with us,
Awesome.
find us. Come and find us.
Well, why don't you come with this?
Tacos and motorcycles. Let's go.
Oh, hell yeah.
Best.
Now you also you're again, you've got this great personality.
Yeah.
You are in KA or what? I mean, what's
that?
Are you on a talk show or what are you doing?
So that's pretty good. So Los Olivos, the Santa Ynez Valley is like a pretty small community, right? And I'm the acting mayor of Los Olivos, and anybody who's from Los Olivos is probably gonna roll their eyes at that right now. But we don't have a mayor, but someone needs to act like one.
Right.
You're the mayor.
A little bit. And so like I announce our parades and I pick up the trash and like buy the new flags for the flagpole, just
Good
duties.
stuff.
So we have mutual
Civic
friends
duties.
there.
Yeah.
Tell everyone.
Oh, KJ.
KJ Murphy, you're friends with Kevin.
Yeah.
You have a hat from him,
I
right?
got a couple.
Right. So do I.
Well,
KJ Murphy, Santa Ynez.
we're actually talking with him
Oh, he's
about
great server.
keeping
making a
making a
two-lane.
2-lane hat.
It's a great idea. I'll be seeing him in the beginning of May. That'd be great. So our little valley is kind of as we like to say, we're not LA and we're not the Bay, right? And so Santa Barbara County has, which one of the reasons we can make great wine is like this mountain range that runs behind Southern California from Point Conception all the way to San Bernardino is one of 7. This is a real funny, weird thing, but if you're on a motorcycle, geography is important. And it's one of 7 transverse mountain ranges in the world. So it runs east and west. And so where we are is just right over the top of the hill from like UCSB into our valley. Reagan lived on the top of that hill. And then we're become like rural California really begins. And we're right at that point where Baja Pacific Ocean's down here and cold northern Pacific Ocean is up there. We're the end of the Southwest and beginning of the Pacific Northwest. It's a special place. But you were asking about the radio station, like Solvang. Most people know Solvang. That's part of our community of trust. It's like Buellton, Solvang, Santa Ynez, Los Olivos.
And no more Anderson's pea soup.
No, I'm trying to get the S from the sign hard. I'm working real hard on that. But where we're located there's only 5 independent radio stations left in California. And one of them is Crazy Country. And so Carp, who owns the station, just one day just goes, "You want a radio show?" And I go, "Yeah, man, for sure." And I go in and I record a show every week. And I've been lucky enough, like Firestone Walker Brewing 805, like Adam Firestone's a good friend of ours, and he's never done an interview ever. And it's all on Spotify if you look for Chopping It Up. Chopping it up on Crazy Country.
Saarloos.
I know, it's so ridiculous. And then I've had a bunch of people that just kind of live in the valley, and I'm like, "Hey, you want to be on the show?" And they're like, I'm like, literally like hundreds of people will listen, but the great part is we've had so many really great guests on the show and people that you would never hear from and never do interviews. And it's, I think we're on our 50th episode now.
Wow.
And
That's
it's almost
funny.
doing a year, and it goes out on like literally an FM radio.
So you saw this and you're kind of like,
Oh yeah,
I gotta have my
100%.
own.
I'm like,
No, I'm
let's
kidding.
rip this off, baby. Yeah, like you first I saw you and I'm like, let's rip it off. And then I saw Mr. Beast and I'm like, yeah, that guy's got something going on too, right?
That's funny.
But yeah, just like I would just say yes to stuff, I think is a good way to put it. And like, hey, you want a radio show? Sure. It's like we grow grapes, we make wine, we raise cattle, we do design work. It's just if it sounds fun to do, it's like might as well do it.
And that's we talked to Josh Brolin a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Castro guy.
Yeah, we got him in here, and he goes, "I'll tell you, I've been talking to you guys. He's seen us on the road. We've seen him on the road, this and that. But he's like, I'll tell you right now,
from the UK.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, it's all about the hats, cigars, and very good glass wine. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I love it. Wait, the one right below it says we cruise by Saarloos and Sons from time to time, and used to work in Los Olivos. So we cruise by. Oh yeah, that's it. One other thing, we do have a cupcake shop.
Oh, yes.
Inside of our tasting room. That's a good thing to bring up. Bring your wife. Like our whole
Excuse
I
me.
didn't mean to step on your story.
Yeah.
But one of the things with wine is like we're not really a winery. We're a skate shop that sells wine. That's a good way to put it, you know. And we wanted something for kids and people who are brand new to wine, because wine can be conceived as like hoity and snobby and like jerky, right? And our goal is like, no, we're dirtbags, right? I'd rather be out in the vineyard on a tractor than
we've seen him in the mud.
Oh yeah, than anybody with like a scarf around, you know, like the sweater around there and salmon pants.
Hello, Simpson.
And then we're like, you got to go. You're a dork. But we started pairing wine with cupcakes within the first week we were open, because a friend of ours she wanted to bake. We're like, just do it here, and if we sell out, we're partners, and if you don't sell it, we're good. And now, if you come in, you can drink, like, if someone's like 21, right? They have no idea what this is. Is wine great or not? And they come in, we're like, yeah, we got wine and cupcakes, because like we're hanging out here, right? There could be a bag of Chips Ahoy and we'd be just like eating cookies, drinking wine, smoking cigar. It's like life's good.
Right.
And so we kind of fostered that mentality with wine.
Well, talk about the vessel too that they come in. It's like an egg carton.
Yeah, so we put them in egg cartons. And I'm really proud, because like even in Sturgis, we would go out, and Lance has been there a bunch of times, where we started throwing the rosé and steak night. And when there was the racetrack going around the back of the flat track,
yeah,
and then all the guys would roll over, and I brought a bunch of rosé, you know, because it has my kid's skull on the front of it, like a little drawing.
Right.
And they're like, rosé. I'm like, yeah, it has a skull on it. It's great. You're gonna love it. And I've seen dudes drink a whole bottle in 12 seconds. Big B did it twice, and I was like, what the what, right? And then we're eating steaks, and it's like, our whole thing with wine is like, we put our back into this, and we really care about it. And some people love beer, but beer is like they're buying all their ingredients from somewhere, and it shows up and they're making their cookies.
Right.
Whiskey's kind of the same thing. This is the only thing where it's like, you know,
you said it from ground to bottle.
From our plow to your porch.
Yep.
You know, it's just us. So craftsmanship all the way. It's like building a bike from tube frames.
Yep.
And that's what we do each and every year.
Well, I want to also shout out Chris Klein. How we doing? He's one of our biggest fans.
Yeah.
He's out of Utah.
Yeah.
He's constantly giving us kudos, and we love it.
I love it. This is so great.
He unfortunately was in a motorcycle accident with his father, and he lost his father.
I know that.
So
yeah,
we try to keep him in good spirits and respond to him as much as we can. He's our buddy.
Yes.
So speak to the, you said like building a bike from tube frame. So you have a couple bikes right now, right? Mm-hmm. What are you running right now?
So what have I had, or what have I got right now?
What do you have right now?
Right now I got I know this is high treason.
Here, I'll go like this. I'll go like this.
Okay.
It's okay.
So
you got them
right now. I got two bikes.
Yeah.
And dirt bikes and all the other stuff for the ranch. But I got a Indian Challenger, which is just, I've had it for a few years. Just fantastic. That's the bike. It's like, if I'm going to hop in something and I'm like, I'm going to go literally coast to coast, that's the bike.
Well, you were on an Indian when we rode one.
Yeah. I love them. They're fun. And I've ridden Harleys. I've had everything. That the Challenger is like in the garage right now. That's a beaut. I love it. And it's like, okay, we're going to go somewhere. I would need something reliable.
That's your touring.
Go fast.
Yep.
Touring, right. And then my other bike, which I really, really love, is when I graduated in high school in 1994. And I found one, and I'm like, I wanted the 1994 FXRP cop bike, unmolested. That bike for me is like, everybody has like that little car where it was like that era. You saw it, there's a little Chips kind of vibe to it, like watching Erica, Estrada and Ponch and John a little bit. But where we live, it's kind of nice.
Well, you're the mayor. You're also probably the police chief.
Yeah. I'm deputized, right? I'm packing,
no tickets.
No tickets. And all the cops know who I am. So it's great. And like, if we're staying in the valley and just kind of doing that, or going up to the Live Fast ride or whatever, or it's just like, I gotta go clear my head for a minute. That's the bike.
Yeah.
And just hop on it and just kind of tool around the valley, and nice little 5-speeds built like a brick shit house, and just like kind of get into it a little bit. And I love that bike.
Well, we've been up there a lot. And
Figaro Mountain.
Lance,
Oh yeah.
my son's been up there with Courtney, and Lauren and Mark have been up there.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
It's a regular family affair.
I'll just tell you right now, they've been like invited to his house. They stayed dinner this night. You and I've never got that invite.
Anytime you want.
We always get, I'm busy. I'm going to the ranch. You guys get the hell out of here.
None of that is happening. You guys I'll tell you what. Next time you're up, I'm cooking steaks.
It's always too busy for us, but we get it. We're okay. We're okay with it. So real quick to finish that story.
Yeah.
What Josh said is he was turning down many opportunities to be on shows, and he says I was over it.
Yeah.
But he goes, after talking with you guys, we're like we do here.
Yeah.
He goes, I just want to talk motorcycles and shoot the shit. I don't want to talk about Hollywood.
But you know the thing about like what you guys are doing here, I mean, what you're building is community, right?
Right.
And that I'll just keep saying it over and over and over. It's like if you hate your life, that means you're not involved in a community.
Right.
Are you all right? You're choking it out.
Okay.
Good. It means you're not involved in a
Hotboxing
community,
him.
right? And being involved in a community, it could be motorcycles, it could be racquetball, it could be golf, it could be whatever it is,
Right.
right? If you're there with a bunch of people who are like, hey, isn't this great, right? Like I always think like mental health. Like we're in a mental health crisis because people aren't in community. They think that doing this makes you connected.
No,
It's
ride
not.
motorcycles. That connects you to everything.
100%.
Yeah.
Where you're out in the middle and you have a little bit of danger and things are happening, you're ripping around. And for me, it's like what you guys are even doing right now, inviting me into your home and sharing it with the rest of the world. It's like that's the
Right.
whole point.
Well, I'm not going to lie.
Put
It
that
didn't
one up,
bother me that
the
much
last
not to
comment
have my
there.
phone on for 40. I mean,
It did, but it
it
didn't.
hurt us a little bit because
That's
a
fine
lot of
again.
the codes were as we're signing in stuff.
Yeah, you're like
Galen and
"We can't
Lance,
watch
it's
Netflix."
great that with all of the wholesome comments that you will support each other, everyone in the community.
Absolutely.
Like Simon.
Here, Simon.
Well, I think to speak about Lance Jr., right? It's like me and him were roommates
Yes.
on like cross country trips to Sturgis,
Right.
And pre thrashing,
Yeah.
like just like he was my cellmate.
Yeah.
And one of the things I think Lance has done so well, and I think that you guys have done so well, is like motorcycles used to be a tough guy, exclusionary, like hey, and push off, right? And
Hell yeah, brother.
yeah, brother, whatever, right? And you're like, we finally got to the point where we realized those dudes are dorks, right? If you're a gatekeeper for something that's fun, you're the problem, right? And I think what Lance has done, what you guys have done, is like what we're doing right now. It's like this is the funnest shit on
Right.
the planet.
Right.
You know what I mean? And what you want to do is say, dude, you should come with us. It's going to be awesome. Let's go have fun. Because you never know the guy that's just going to say the funniest thing at the right time.
Right.
You never know the guy who's going to be like, hey, I'll go and ride 3 hours off trail with you. And you're like, oh my gosh, that was the greatest experience of my life, right? And the more you do that, the tighter your bonds get. And you're like, how many people can we get in this thing?
Well,
We've had trips where we've had a route planned and
Yeah.
we're riding down the whatever road and bikes go by this way. 10 minutes later, we get a DM.
Yeah.
Hey, we see you guys going down this way. You should try turning left up there and going up over the mountain pass before you hit the thing.
Yes.
And we're like, let's do it.
So
changed the whole ride. We didn't even get to our
Yeah.
original destination, but it was damn well worth it.
so when we went,
And we had to go back to the other place
Right.
again.
I know
So
that you got
what
to
the
check that
hell?
off too, right? So it's like I'm going to blow it up now, but like when Hart was the Grand Marshal of Sturgis, that one, it's got to be 10 years ago or something now. But we were riding and we kind of did a ride all together. And someone on the ride goes, have you guys been on Funhouse yet? And we're like, well, it's Funhouse, right? And it was me and Dell and Heath Pinner and Lance and we're like, and put in the phone, and we found this road. And we ripped this thing as fast as we could, and there was nobody on it. And we got to the end, and we said, "Let's do it again."
Yeah.
And we went
Back.
all the way back, and then we did it again. And we're like, "Dude, don't tell anybody. This place is awesome, right?" And now it's ruined. So
No, it's
But
ruined.
the fun things that happen, like you say, we were at Deadwood Cycles
Mhm.
and Jason moved. He's like, you guys want to see my downstairs basement?
let's go.
And we're like, all right. So he takes us down this runway into a dark basement. Each one of us has little pin lights.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we're in this giant museum. But what are those little things you made as a kid in school? The dioramas?
Diorama, yeah.
That's what was down there. But life-size statues of Western scenes, doctors in the Old West,
That's epic.
bankers in the dark, in the shadows. We filmed it. You can see it in one of our videos, but it's gone now. But we got to see that.
This is Ralph.
Ralph.
2 Lane Life guys definitely are responsible for me buying my bike. It's the best money I've ever spent.
Yes.
Cheers.
Welcome to the club.
Hitting the road.
Well, in talking about this stuff, you know, I don't think 2 guys 10 years ago would have imagined what's happened the last 6 years. And
I love watching it.
And, you know, and Lance has said this a couple, maybe he's mentioned it today, I don't know, but the amount of people and the outreach that we get for the mental health side of things. And we've been asked to spread ashes over a grave. We've been, you know, we get people telling us, you know, we had a guy, Jaime Puerta here, his son died of a fentanyl overdose. And we get people in here telling their stories, and we find them because they watched our stuff. He said he walked up to us at Josie's Hideout down in Temecula area and said, "You literally saved my life." And I'm like, "What?" Like, wait, let me grab Lance and do you mind talking about this on camera? He's like, "No, I'll talk about it." And his son, and he started a foundation after his son passed away, and they're raising money for awareness around fentanyl abuse. The kid was 15 years old, and Jaime, that was their only child. He laid in bed for months, and his wife for somehow got our channel and started playing it, and it got him out of bed to ride across the country with his Marine buddies and back, and he lost 30 pounds. He got back in, and he said, "I'm going to attack this thing."
And he's been at the Senate. He's been at the White House. We were standing in Cave Creek this weekend.
Amazing.
And guys came up to us. Grown men.
Yeah.
Tough guys standing there with us. We all have a beer. We're talking this and that. And the guy starts telling us what we do for the motorcycle industry. And this is just a guy that rides. Good guy. And tears start coming out of his eyes.
Crying.
Yeah.
Now we're hugging him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You guys have changed my life." And he goes, "I don't know if you guys know what you do for us riders out here."
But isn't that the goal?
Yes.
Right? The goal is, like you said, tough guy, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you can look like a tough guy and be a tough guy. Like tough, if you think a tough guy is like quiet and, you know, I can lift a lot of weight or, okay, cool, whatever. Awesome. But like, to me, what is a real tough guy? Where, like, is someone who goes out there and you're like, aim it right here. Like, shoot the arrows at me. You want to talk trash? I don't care. I'm having more fun than you. You know, I don't give a shit what you say to me, because the whole point of it is, like, if you go out and you're positive and you affect one person's life,
That's it.
right? And that person affects somebody else. There's a literal chain reaction. Right now, I think we as a world are experiencing the negative chain reaction, right? The negative chain reaction is shut up, sit down, doom scroll. Oh, the world's terrible. You're like, no. This is the exact same world as like 1998.
Right.
Outside. It's just, what are you letting in?
Don't watch the news. You know the scene in the Dirty Dozen?
Yeah.
With Sutherland?
Yeah.
Don't step on my vibe, man. You're ruining my vibe, baby.
That's kind of the gig, right? And if you're stuck.
Oh, you stepped on my vibe too many times.
And here's another
bro.
thing, like, talk about mental health, helping people, going out, meeting people, having fun, having great conversations and that. I mean, Galen shared his story about the health issues he's going through now. But, well, I'll say this. We have a lot of trips to do this year, and he's already said he's fucking going.
Yeah.
He's going to go on the trips. He doesn't give a shit. He's making it. He's positive about the whole treatment thing. He's going to have a nice, easy treatment, hopefully. But if he's tired and needs help on a trip, I'll fucking lift him up and put him on his bike, because we're not stopping, because he wants to spread the word, and we want to see you guys. So that's it.
Well, even think of it, you're not going through it alone, man.
No. You
Like,
got a whole country.
You know, a whole country of people who are like, got your back.
Yeah, it's
It's
pretty
like,
insane,
go back to the
actually.
tough guy. The tough guy is like, oh, I'm going to say strong and silent. No. The tough guy is the one who walks out and says, hey, this is what I'm going through. I'm going to go through it. Hopefully I can help you. I mean, in all honesty, it's like, I've been I'll just flat out say it. Like my mom's been like, you need to go get a colon.
I
test.
told you.
I know you did too. Go get a colon test. And I've been like, I don't need a colon test. Right. And we talked on the phone.
Yeah.
And you're like, you need to go do this thing. And I'm like,
I'm going to get
so
Heather's
next
number.
Thursday,
I'm
a week
got
from
it.
today, I'm going to take a night, take a little sleepy sleep and
yeah,
get a camera rack.
it'll work.
And I'm like, okay,
It's
fingers
just like
crossed,
when
let's
they-
rock and roll.
It's just like when they put those little things in the exhaust
Yeah.
tailpipe.
You're good to go.
Yeah.
He's like, you're not awake for it.
But
You're all right.
You know, I wasn't going to say anything, and I think the fact that in today's world with the technology and you know the care that we get in kind of our hospital network, and sometimes it's not so good, and you have to advocate for yourself. And so
My wife is pro at that.
the same, yeah. I mean, we talked
Yep.
about that as well, and I think that's why I decided to share is to get the word out and get people. Like we were talking in the warehouse, and a guy called me,
Yep.
and he wanted to share his story with me about his treatment, and that's a blessing because it mentally is helpful for me as well.
Yeah.
This is
So
the
I'm-
only guy I know that has told live,
Yeah.
hey, this is my cell phone number. Give me a
818-207-7084, baby.
Let's go, baby. I
You
love
call
it.
me anytime you want.
Tough guy Galen.
Let's
I love
go.
it, man. This is fantastic. But I mean, that's it, right? It's like I always love the analogy of hello. Like if you're in
Hi,
a hole,
Laura.
it's like a real friend jumps in the hole with you. And if that's the case, right? It's like, well, how are we getting out? I don't know. But we're getting out together and we're gonna have fun while we do it, right? If a tree falls, like I'll call my son and be like, we got to chainsaw this thing up. He knows to show up in a good mood. He's a 17-year-old kid, and he's like, he shows up and he's like, let's go, baby. We're gonna chainsaw some stuff. I'm like, here you go. I'll move him. You cut him. He's like, what? And it's like chainsaw massacre
Yeah.
over the head. And all of a sudden, it's like this huge amount of work we have to do turns into like, dude, wasn't that a great day where we chopped up a tree?
Well, and
You know?
we're lucky too. I mean, we've known each other for a long time, and we've got at each other
Mhm.
a few times, and you know,
Brothers fight.
but at the same time, like I hated to make the call to his son and his wife when he went down and broke his leg.
Yeah.
But we were there with him. We had to finish, and then he's like, "You guys need to keep filming. You got to keep going." So
Yep.
he was in, and then I'm making the call, and here's Lance Jr.'s like, just tell me what's wrong with him. Don't
Yeah.
start.
That's my son right there. He's like, he's him like afraid to, and he's just, what's up?
Yeah.
Tell me. You know,
Well, that phone call can get real rough.
What is
Yeah.
this?
Oh, that's how we got the cork out of the bottle.
What happened to our cork?
so this guy makes wine. He has a winery. He said, just give me a screw. I'll get the cork out for you.
It was either that or bang it on the wall.
Yeah, he bangs
I
it
can
on
do
the
that
wall.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know every way to get a cork out of the
So
wall.
we have this great communication. We have this thing going on, all three of us right here. But still, I'm going back to, we haven't been to any of his barbecues.
Here we go.
Listen, I'm
We've had
close.
cupcakes.
You got it. You're in. You're in.
He actually set up. I had taken our top performers out to
Yeah.
Alisal Ranch.
Yep.
Ah,
And
That
he
was
set
fun.
up and did a wine tasting for us, a private wine tasting, and it blew the managers away. They were so stoked. And
when was that? Because that was like,
years ago.
Years ago.
we've known him that long.
Oh, yeah.
We had Teresa and I went to Alisal Ranch. We were on our Road King,
Mhm.
and we
That's
pulled
all.
up, and
Remember this.
we walked in with our helmets on, and they're like,
Hey,
what are you guys doing? We're like, I'd like to get a room. And they're like, the front desk lady, nice, but well, it's $500 a night and
Yeah.
it's a 2-night minimum. And I said, okay, I'll pay the 2
rock
nights.
and roll.
I only want 1 night.
Yeah.
And I'll pay for 2. And she's like, what? And I'm like, I just want to stay here tonight.
Yep.
So the general
place is
manager
pretty
comes
special.
out.
Yeah.
Sir. And I said, look, I just want 1 night. She goes, okay, no problem.
Yep.
$350. Didn't
Yep.
charge me the full room rate.
Yep.
We put us in the room, and I'm like, and she's like, well, do you have clothing for dinner? And I'm like, what do you mean?
You got to wear a jacket. Yeah.
She's like, we have a jacket, but does your wife have a dress? And I'm like,
Mhm.
no. So we could just go into town. Or she said, no, we're going to send room service. We don't have room service, but
Yep.
we're sending it to you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
That's
And
good.
we're in this cottage, no television, no phone,
No.
nothing.
Yes.
And looking
It's a
out
dude,
into
it's
the
a
back.
it's a working dude ranch.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, it was the most spectacular day and night we had there.
Yeah.
So I called her the next week and I said, I've got 40, 50 people. I'm going to bring them up.
Yep.
Let's set something up. She's like, absolutely. And the only way she earned that business is
Yep.
what she did.
Well, that's the whole point.
You
I mean,
know?
I see that all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, we'll have people come in the taste room, and I've said that, like, everybody works with us, and I go, it's not the person you're going to think it is, just so you know. And like you were alluding to, and I probably should, like, every Saturday, I'm home. That's a good way to put it. I give a free vineyard tour.
Yep.
Whoever shows up, right? It's
We
10
did
a.m. It's fun.
We filmed
It's
it. You
fun.
can see the
Yeah.
free
Really fun.
vineyard tour.
And I'll just go, you want to learn 25 years of stuff in like an hour and a half? Let's go. And anybody who shows up, it's free. And then we go back to the tasting room. I'll pour all the wine, talk about it, all of it. And I've made literal lifelong friends from people who have just showed up on this tour. We hung out, made a connection. My friend Brian and Tommy, who
Oh yeah.
I love them, right?
Yeah.
Brian and Tommy, who I got to officiate their wedding, and we've gone on
Really?
trips and all this great stuff. And it was just because they came in one time and drank wine, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, we're gonna be friends for the rest of our lives, you know. And we get to experience that. And the one thing I would say to everybody who's watching is, like, this is not an isolated thing. You know, the more you share, the wider you leave the doors open, the more people come in, and the better your life becomes.
Yeah.
It's a massive multiplayer game. If you're doing it.
And I said this in the drop, I think your dad is looking down on you,
Oh,
so
yeah.
proud, because you're just continuing something that, and I watch, you know, we're not on the phone every single day, but I watch you and your son and your
yeah.
daughter,
Yeah.
and you're a family man, and you take care of these and your wife's spectacular, she's wonderful, and you're raising some good human beings.
Yeah.
And I think that's also what it's all about, is how do we get that next generation? And I'll just say it, I'm going to be a grandfather in
Congratulations.
September.
That's fantastic.
So
I'm waiting on that.
I am. I know, man.
I'm going hard. I already told, like, my daughter is like, you know, she's 21, and I'm like, just so you know you're making me retire from a job I don't want to retire from. But when I get pulled back in,
Yeah,
I'm like, just so you
doing
know, I'm going so hard. she's like, okay.
Well, it's the
And
greatest
it's-
thing in the world. I'll tell you both.
Yes.
And it's going to be a boy, it looks like. So we're wishing him all the best and health
Boys.
and that. And come on in, grab
Come
some
on.
wine.
Want
Try
some
this.
wine? We're gonna open another bottle.
Yeah. But one
Get a little
hell.
farther and say hello. Say hello.
Jump in.
Guest
Hi
appearance.
guys. I had to come by and get a glass of wine. Best wine in town.
Yay.
Best wine ever. That's all
Thank
it is.
you.
You need a chair.
You're welcome.
Right there.
You can sit right there.
She's on her way too.
But it's one hell of a year.
Oh, yeah.
I've got this cancer shit going on. My daughter's getting married in August.
Speed bumps.
And I have to get back from Sturgis like 2 days before. So
That's easy.
we need to make it.
I don't think you have cancer. I think they're lying to you.
They could be.
I think it's all a farce.
But doesn't everybody make it from home from Sturgis in one day?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's like, it's time to pivot.
We went
Usually
left
2 days. for us.
Deadwood, South Dakota.
Yep.
We did 1,150 miles in 15 hours
Mhm.
to get home. But
know.
I like to cruise a little.
No, I get it.
It's like I still like to go fast. We go fast. We ride with Ration.
Yeah.
Are you
We're
going
all
back to
fast
Sturgis?
riders, you know.
Yeah, I might be sleeping on your floor. I don't know.
We have a house.
We have a
Let's go.
house.
I'll show
We'll
up.
be in Deadwood.
I'll be there. Be at your house. I'll be somewhere. It's like bring a mat. Perfect.
I'm
We
gonna
have a
go
great
find
house.
screwdriver.
We have a great house on the city stairs up in the old historic.
Yeah, in Deadwood.
Yeah, we just walk down, go to eat and do the thing. And
Did little Lance tell you about the world's greatest bar in Deadwood?
which one?
So there was one. It was only open 1 year, and I have literally gone back every year to go. Is it open? Is it open? So in the church, the Catholic Church was right there,
Okay.
and there was a lady who just
right in.
yes,
Oh.
right on the main drag, right by the Catholic Church.
Oh,
And we were cruising by. It was, let me think. It was Heath. It was Dell. It was Lance. And I think it was me. I think that was about it. It was early on, and the garage was open, and it was $2 beers.
oh, really?
And so we were basically sitting in the garage of the Catholic Church, just drinking beers.
Really?
Yeah. And the lady, I'm like, is this like legal? She's like, I don't know, kind of a thing. And
We might need to pop
oh
another.
yeah, here, I can take this.
Yeah.
You want white or red?
There too.
Oh, you did?
Here, wait, gotta.
I'll get it.
Well,
Oh,
Want some mom?
there went the shirt.
I mean,
What am I drinking?
This-
Whatever I'm drinking
Oh,
is delicious.
that's Dad.
That's the mayhem.
That's
Oh,
a
okay.
mayhem.
Oh, mayhem.
Carbonic
This is a good one.
Grenache.
Very good.
Here.
You guys are nailing it.
8:05.
But this
What a
is
great
white?
beer.
You want white or red?
No, red.
Get the
Under
dad.
I've got- this
Yeah,
is
we'll
gonna be for
have to
Teresa.
do dad.
Yeah, do the dad.
Oh, there we go. This is a special one.
Here.
Here's my old man.
Here's me. This, yeah. You know, I know your dad, and
Never
I've
met
seen your
him.
dad, but I never really hung out or met him.
He
No, we met.
Did we meet him
Yeah,
once?
we
Oh,
met
yeah.
him.
Big Lair.
Yeah.
Big Lair. He was bigger, larger than life. Great guy. I'm doing my best Big Lair impression, you know, with my life in a little bit, but cared about people. Man, I got to stand up and do this. Let's get it.
We're taking
You're
a
still on
little
camera.
pause.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
good. I just want to get the vice.
This is how you get the cork out when you don't have the cork getter outer.
Oh, this thing is tight.
He's gonna
This is
hit.
an old one.
Yo!
There
Whoa.
we go.
There's Dad.
That's a sound of a good wine.
That's the
wait.
sound of a party. I've never heard that sound. and
Paul,
not
do you
have
want
fun.
some?
No, thank you.
It's just my life's work, man.
Snake Boots asking, what are
Cheers,
the bottles
Dad.
that the blends and what did you bring, Keith?
Oh, perfect. So that big bottle over there, that's our Cabernet Sauvignon. Those are really special because it's like Magnums are party wines. Got 8 people.
This way.
Rip one of those. Perfect. After
We've
beauty.
got dad.
Then we got Dad, our only colorful label we've ever made. That's a Mourvedre. So what you guys are drinking, this is Mourvedre's a really great wine because it's kind of the problem child of grapes. It takes a long time to get ripe. I like to think of it as the backbone of great wines in like Europe, like Chateauneuf du Pape. They're all Grenache, Syrah, Mourvedre. And Mourvedre is like the backbone. It's like the in a band, it would be the drummer,
Okay.
right? Just like keeping rhythm for everybody. And so we grow Mourvedre. It is a tough grape because you're like, come on, man. You're like, come on, just get right. You're like, come on, baby. Sometimes you don't even get to pick it.
Really?
You miss the window.
Come on,
Yeah,
man.
it's really tough. And other times it like turns into this and it just like silky smooth and sings. We have Mayhem, which is a picture of Cash surfing, and Carbonic Grenache is kind of that. It's like paddling out in the ocean. You never really know what's going to happen. You're just like, here we go. It's going to be, you can either get barreled or just pushed on the reef. And then Mom, which is perfect Mother's Day, Grenache Blanc. I love describing this wine for a couple of reasons. My mom's on the label. Most people know Chardonnay, and Chardonnay's fine, but it's kind of like the Starbucks of coffee, right? It's like they never tell you about the beans, they tell you about the flavor they put on it. So like oaky, buttery, creamy with Chardonnay usually. And my mom was a four-sport varsity athlete, played, she was a cheerleader. She was like the it girl in high school. My dad waited 6 weeks to get a date with her. That's totally true.
And her
And-
daily planner at that point.
very much. And he's like, would you like to go out? She's like, sure. And he's like, you want to go out this week? She's like, I got a date. And he's like, what about next week? I got a date. You know, 6. And he's like, when you don't have a date? She's like, 6 weeks. And he's like, okay. And then they were walking in the hall, and my mom's like, we have a date this Friday. And my dad's like, yes, we do. And picked her up, and they went out once, and my dad came home and said to his mom, and she's like, that's it. She's it. Right. And I married my wife. When we started dating, Heather's 18, I was 20. We're in college. I saw her walking across the parking lot, and like, it was like a movie in my head, slowed down, and it's like, there she is, you know. And my brother, same thing. It's like, we knew what we were looking for. It's like, my mom's, to this day, it's like, she's beat cancer twice. She has cancer now. She's always beating the shit out of that one. She's walking 6 miles a day, going to every basketball, football, baseball game there is. The Grenache Blanc is not the girl who peaked in high school, which is kind of what Chardonnay is. Grenache Blanc is what everybody should be drinking. And my mom's like the world's greatest hang. Like if she'd show up here today, she treats the Queen of England and like her next door neighbor exactly the same.
Yeah.
And then like nowhere is the lover. Like I know 2 people have ever said something negative about my mom. They're still like on a list in my head where I'm like, you're a horrible person.
Yeah.
You're
I
like,
mean, we were young.
yes.
We were very young. Met 6 months later, we got engaged.
Yeah, sure.
6 months later, we were married. Very young. But
Yep.
you know what?
But-
you grow together.
Well,
What
You live
happened
life
on your
together.
wedding night?
She
No, no.
she wanted her mom. I miss my mom.
Fair enough.
I did.
Fair enough. You got
I loved it.
better at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a funny
Yes.
story.
I mean, in that same vein, the funniest part about that is like we have a wine we just released called Soulmates, right?
Uh-huh.
And like everybody here will understand, like soulmates aren't found, they're forged, right? It's like years and years, and like love will get you through the first like 5-6 years.
Right.
And then after that, like when the brakes start blowing off and you're like, okay, we're in it now, right? And the kids start coming along and pressures start coming along and like, oh, we got a house payment to make. How are we going to do this? We got payroll to make. How are we going to do this? It's like, then you figure out like, oh, do I have a war buddy here? You know? And so
Well, and you said that earlier about having your back. I mean,
100%.
we've been married for 42 years.
Oh yeah.
And I've done a lot of crazy stuff. Oh, I have a nice job. Well, I'm quitting and I'm starting my own business.
Yeah.
What? So we're going from making money to not making
Yes.
money.
Yeah.
But every
We pay
every
ourselves
step,
last instead of first now.
I've-
right? Yeah.
I've reinvented myself 3 or 4 times, whether it was sign paint or setware, 2-lane. You know, it's like, but she's been there. I'm
Yeah.
like, you ready for the ride? Because
Okay. So here's my 2 cents on that. There's two ways to live, right? There's the merry-go-round, where it's going to be little highs, little lows. You're going to see the same thing over and over. And I personally think like marriages die of boredom, right? And then there's the roller coaster. And there are going to be as highest highs and the lowest lows, and you have no idea what the next turn's going to be. But you're on it together, and you're looking next to the person. Your hands are up, and you're screaming and stuff. It's like, how many times can you ride the merry-go-round until you're like, okay, this
you
is
fall
whatever.
asleep on the merry-go-round.
Right?
Yeah.
But like right now, it's like I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. But are you in it with me? And she's like, let's go.
Yeah.
You know,
Right?
Make it or
I
not.
love it.
We're making it.
we're making it. As our
Yeah.
family says, we win together and we lose
Lose
together.
together.
Yep.
I
Well,
would
and
say
you're-
that everybody here has that.
Your
But that's
your
good.
parents are proud of their kids. Look
Yeah.
at the family they raised, and now look at the family, your brothers, you know, and
Oh yeah, TCU. My right now there's more of my family within a 2-mile radius of Texas Christian University than there is like in Los Olivos.
Really?
Yeah.
because your mom's there, right?
So my brother's the head coach for TCU baseball. Very proud of him and his whole
He's
family.
killing it.
Yeah, Brady and Emery and the Texas Tornado Lane, who's the greatest. We name wines after him. I love it. And then my daughter only applied to one school and got in, and she goes there. She's dating a guy who I cut all. I've never put one, but like any pictures, like prom pictures and stuff like that. Whoever, I always cut the dude's head off. And he's like, when am I going to earn? I'm like, you got to earn your way on this franchise, son. You know. But he's great, and she goes to school there. She has one more year. This last year, she worked up at the Reagan Ranch and the Valley. This year, she's going to work for Brooke Rollins at the Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
Nice.
And we're like, holy cow, man, this is the furthest like any Saarloos has ever gone. This is
Aw.
amazing, right? And then my dad passed away 6 years ago next week, and we kind of split mom right down the middle. And my mom, like, you know, that wine's named after her for a bunch of reasons, but she's super fan number one. So she's like, it's baseball season. So when my daughter went off to college, my mom and my daughter got on the plane together to go back to school. And my daughter like goes over to my mom's house, who lives right across from campus. Like if her house is here, there's campus.
Wow.
And she walks right across the street, walk right across the field into the baseball field. And my daughter, and all of her sorority friends all go over to my mom's house all the time. And, like,
Your mom loves it.
That's
oh,
so
she
cool.
loves it. So my mom's like,
Why would you want to leave?
she's getting younger and younger and younger.
Yeah.
Right.
And so right now, Cash is like, there's only us three, man. You know, I'm like, well, we got cousins and stuff. They're like, yeah, but now Cash is like, I think I really want to go to that school. I'm like, I want that. You know, so our whole family's kind of. In
So do you
this-
think he'll go there?
He's working real hard on it, but he's
No, him or her?
No, Cash
Oh,
going to
yeah.
TCU.
the beauty of Cash is Cash has the Saarloos male brain, which is very not fully. It's not really great, you know. It's like we're doing our best. You know what I mean? You're like, he's
Oh,
great
you're so
and all
funny.
that, but it's like, you know, I still get panic attacks going to like a school because it's like you just sit there and you're like, this is an institutionalized. This is basically prison, you know, like that. And I like And
Well,
so
Lance went to sign up for college, and he was in a big auditorium with all these people. And the guy said, if there's anyone here that doesn't like homework, that are going to have homework 5 days a week and this and that, you should leave now.
peace out.
My son stood up and left.
Which is not a bad call, you know? And so, but Brielle is the opposite. Like Brielle's a virus, you know, like it's a horrible way to put it, but like she went to school to be an entrepreneur because our families are all kind of that. And she went there and she goes, I'm not an entrepreneur. I go, really? What do you mean? She goes, I'm an intrapreneur, which I didn't even know that was a
What is
word.
that?
There we go. Because Brielle, there's been 3 laws. She was in youth and government in California, which is an amazing program in high school.
Mhm.
And there's 3 things that passed. One of them you're not going to like, but seatbelt law started in youth and government. Helmet law started in youth and government in California. And then Brielle's was the 3rd one that was unanimously passed. And that was from friends of ours, Brian and Tommy again, where she came home and she's like, hey, we're giving blood. And they're like, well, we can't give blood because we're gay. And she's like, what do you mean? You can't give blood if you're gay? And the answer was no.
Wow.
Which nobody knows.
No.
Right?
Why?
And why
Right.
is exactly right. And so the most philanthropic, like, you know, dual income, like want to help. They're like, this is insane. So she went and that was her bill, and you have to make a law, and it passed unanimously. So she's like one of the 3.
Kudos to Brielle.
Right.
That's
And so
awesome.
Brielle's the only Saarloos where it's like I'm an acting mayor, but Brielle might become the president of the United States. You know what I mean? She absolutely, I'm like, yeah, I'd vote for her. You know, she's great. She's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So she's doing that, but back to Cash, she's more like, you know, Saarloos brain where it's like, Cash will be fine.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
good looking kid, super nice. Like with our family and, you know, saying to everybody here, it's like, to everybody, I've got to speak at like USC or the Citadel and a bunch of other places and schools in Lompoc, right?
Yeah.
And my cheat code to life is you only have to figure out one thing. It's 4 things, but it's one thing. You have to find something you love, something you're good at, something the world needs, and it's willing to pay you for. And all 4 of those things should be one thing. And if you find that, that's your purpose. Like that's what you guys are doing. That's what I'm doing. That's what I hope everybody in this world is doing. It's like, I love this. I'm good at it. The world wants me to do it. And I can make money doing it. That's the dream. Right. And the hard part, like when I asked Cash, because both my kids had to tell me what their thing was, 2 of them at least, before we go to college. And Brielle's was very easy. She's like, I'm good at this. I like it. You know, 5.0 student. And then Cash, I said, what's your thing? And he said, people. And I'm like, geez, that's probably the best answer I've ever heard, but I have no idea how you monetize that, right? So it'll be something, but he'll
Figure it out.
He'll figure it out.
He will figure it out.
Yeah. Brielle be president. He'll be like the warlord on Mars. And then I'll be cheering for both of
Like his
them.
dad, he'll do just fine.
So,
See, now we're deeper in the wine. We're having
well,
fun. This is great.
let's,
Can I have some of that?
yeah.
Thanks.
What are you most proud of professionally?
Professionally?
Yeah.
I think that we have a lot of people get into wine because they were successful at something else, and they're rolling in with a pretty big stack, right? And they're like, hey, I want to make wine. And they can hire people, or they can buy grapes. They can hire people to make wine. They can hire someone to design it for them. They can hire someone to sell it for them. They can basically put in all of the puzzle pieces so that they can go,
It's my bottle of wine.
hey, this is my name, right? Which is kind of most people's end goal with wine. And what I'm proud of is with both me and my brother and my daughter and with my son, everybody, anyway. This is as far away from home as I've ever been. And there's nothing in the Saarloos DNA that says we should be growing and making some of the best wine on the planet, right? But we put our back into it, and we're really proud of that. Professionally, I got asked to make an official Ronald Reagan wine, which is
Pretty
pretty big
honor.
deal,
Pretty
you
big
know.
honor.
And as our most famous resident, I like to say that, to get vetted, to to be able to put a wine with the, face of a generational president. He wasn't perfect, of course, like anything else, but he tore down the wall between Germany. I mean, not a lot of people know there was a wall that ran right down the middle, and one side was communist and one side was free. And when they tore it down, a lot of people on this side did not run into the communist side.
Right.
Everybody ran out of it.
Right.
And in a legacy like that, it's pretty amazing to be to have our name on a bottle that has his picture. Because I know my grandfather, when I was a little kid, and the president would come on TV, he goes, "Shh, be quiet. The president is speaking." And he was someone to be admired, right?
Respect.
And I think my dad wouldn't believe it. And when the Reagan movie came out, we got to go to the premiere and do all of this stuff, and that was pretty big. So we get to do that every year. And this last year, my daughter's given tours up at Reagan Ranch, and I went to go visit her, and we got little business wearing a little suit, and she's a wolf in sheep's clothing. And we were just standing in the museum all by ourselves, and I'm like, I got teared up. I go, if your grandpa walked through that door right now, he wouldn't believe it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that feels pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
And so what are you
And our doors are still open. We're very proud of that.
right? What are you most proud of personally? Yeah.
I don't think anybody has done so much with so little talent. I think that's a good way to put it.
Maybe you're underestimating yourself.
No, I know who I am. I'm not. I'm no super special little thing, but I am tenacious, and I will get after it. And one of the things I have found with that is that it breeds a level of gratefulness inside.
Yeah.
And because if you think you deserve something and you don't get it, that sometimes breeds anger and envy, and it's the beginning of rot or something that festers, right? And then all of a sudden you're not treating someone else with kindness because you have some sort of thing growing inside of you where you're like, why do they have that and I don't? Or maybe right? And for me, I married I still walk in I can't, like my wife, I look at that one, I could be pissed at her, like just pissed. I can't look at her. Because the minute I look at her, I'm like, geez, man, how did I'm the luckiest guy on the planet. Holy shit. And it's been 30 years, right? I look at my kids and I couldn't be more proud of them. They're mischievous and they get in the good kind of trouble, which is okay.
Yes.
I talk to my mom every day. Love you too. I got a nice tight family. I work with my cousins. I work in a beautiful place that I love. That the vineyard hates you and is like something's going to break every day. And cows are going to get out and a cow's going to try to trample you. We do beef and all that.
Or
stuff
helping
too.
your neighbor.
Yeah. Or like you stop and you see someone
Put
on the side
out
of the
fires that are happening.
I do a lot of that. Yeah. It's like,
Literally.
Literally. So at the end of it, hopefully this resonates a little bit, but a long time ago, I kind of thought, when I'm done, and as we all will be, and I come face to face with the good Lord one day, I thought a long time ago what I want him to say to me, which is, "Here comes a man after my own heart," right? And if I keep my aligned with that, and I go out and have a good time and treat people well, and I'm sure the world needs like teetotaling, sweater wearing kind of people, but that's not me. And I like cigars and wine and whiskey
And tractors.
and fast motorcycles and
Yes.
and a wife that's too good for me, that's like hot as shit, and a son that if I walk through the door and I'm in a bad mood will jump on my back and wrestle me to the ground for 25 minutes until I'm heaving, and a daughter I'm proud of, and it's like, yeah, I had a bad, like sometimes you have bad 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But nothing else matters except what you just explained.
It does.
Family. Because without
That's it.
the older I get, you realize how important people are and the core family you have,
That's the root.
because you need that infrastructure. You need that backup and support, and
I like being a lot of people's first phone call.
yeah.
And I always know that, like, if I was in some prison somewhere, I would probably put my feet up and whistle.
Like school.
Yeah, I know. But if I was somewhere and locked up or whatever, I would relax a little. I'd probably be freaked out in the beginning, and then I'd lean back and whistle and kind of smile or do whatever, because I knew that there would probably be about 15 people coming.
Probably
Well, I
more
mean-
than probably more than 15.
More than 15, yeah.
Probably more than 15.
More than
I
15.
mean, what's better than early morning, nice cup of coffee?
Oh, it's the best.
Laura and I are sitting on the couch. We're watching the sun come up. It's like that little hour in the morning sets the whole day up. It's like, all right. If you miss that, you're like, you need that.
Well, you know what? I had my son call me on last week and said, "Hey, Mom, you busy Thursday?" I'm like, "I'm working." "Well, you don't have to go into work. I'm picking you up and we're going to lunch." And I'm like, "Okay." And then I didn't hear from him. And then he called me the night before. "Okay, I'm picking you up tomorrow. But I've got a hair appointment. So I'm going to pick you up at 8:30. You're going to come with me to get my hair cut. Then we'll go to lunch." And so that's where I just came from. Then he needed to go to the dentist and I was in his car. So he's like, "Want to come with me, Mom?" I'm like, "Okay."
Well,
So actually it was reliving.
yes.
That's what I'm saying. Took him
It's
to
like
get
a
his
porky
haircut,
haircut,
and
lunch,
then
and
the
then
He's
dentist.
such a
So,
little punk.
he was a punk.
No,
But-
I'm kidding.
We had a good day together. So that was family. And that was an unexpected call that I'm like, wow. Actually, it was a text. I'm
Well,
like, wow, this is a nice text.
That's a credit to you guys raising a good young man.
So,
Talk about raising though. It's like,
oh, yeah.
we raised our children to,
Thank you.
we never stopped. "Hey, I want to do this, Dad, Mom. You think you can do it? Go for it. We're not helping you. We're watching you
Nobody
do
ever
it."
told you you can't.
Right.
Well, so we taught a lot in that song, "Teach Your Children," and then "Teach Your Parents." So it's like we're starting Tulane, but I've taught him all this stuff from his motorcycle career. Laura and I supported him. We've been with him. We did the whole thing. And Lauren, we did whatever, volleyball, whatever she was doing.
You watched your kid do a flip on a bike.
Yes.
Which is like, let's just put this in perspective. Okay, let's pause.
I traveled the world with him doing
Yes.
that.
So there's a little bit of a difference here, right? It's like my son plays water polo, and I'm very proud of him, because he's like kind of a thug in the water. But I have been places where, like, one of the first times I met Lance, right? We're at Hart's place, and Cash was like this tall. I have a picture of it. I can find it for you. There's a picture of Lance upside down with Cash.
Oh, yeah, I seen that.
Yes,
Underneath.
standing looking, and then watched him land and like ripped away, and I'm like, "What do you think, buddy?" And he's like, "He already did that," and I'm like, "You have no, what are you talking about? He's upside down." He's like, "Yeah, but he's, a little kid going, he already did that."
But you teach them.
But you saw like the day one. What was that like?
It
Going,
was pretty
today
scary.
I'm going upside down.
Yes.
Like,
Well,
there's 15 people on the planet that can do this.
Well, he was learning it in a foam pit, and we were going to Hawaii, and we said, "Don't take it to dirt till we go home, till we're home." Well, of course, we see a video while we're in Hawaii
Yeah.
of him taking it to dirt.
That's insane.
But the point of everything I was getting at is, as life changed and he became a man and he's growing, I remember going to him when we first started the channel, and I said, "What do we have to do to get recognized by like Harley or how do we get?"
Yeah, you want to get in the mix
Because we want to get in the mix,
Yeah.
right? He said, "Here's all you got to do. You guys make cool shit, and they'll come."
that's like 99% of life.
Right.
But here's the part that you did that most, like, fear has killed more dreams than failure ever could hope to.
Oh,
Right? If you're either talking about it or you're going to be about it. And sometimes you got to be about it, and then you're sliding chips in, and you're like, "Here we go." And you're like, either it's going to crash and burn or something good's going to happen.
right.
There is my 2 cents on all of this is, like, I've said this to my son, there's a perfect level of faith, right? Like, for me, I know a perfect level of faith. It's like, you want to be well respected in your own hometown, right? You can walk in, get a cup of coffee quick. If you walk in, the restaurant's full, you're like, "Hey, can you hook me up?" They're like, "Yeah, of course." That kind of stuff. you get out of tickets. Like that's like to me, I'm like, you want to be Goodfellas level, like famous, where you walk in and they're like, oh, we'll get you a table, right? If you get that, like being world famous, I don't know, you know, good
Too
luck.
much.
Like that's when people have an opinion on your life, you're like, I'm good. But on the other side, it's like right in that thick vein, and you guys, I mean, all of us, it's like we're kind of talking more parenting than anything else. Like my son, it was right before Christmas. We were cutting up a tree. A lot of trees fell this year, and he said to me, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I kind of looked at him, and I'm like I'm gonna buy my own gift, you know, kind of a thing, like because he's gonna ask me for money to go buy it. And I said,
Pair of sneakers.
yeah, totally. It's like, hey, I'm going to get you something great. And you're like, well, how much is it going to cost me? But I said, and this is for everybody, and I think this is the world's greatest piece of advice. Like Father's Day is coming up. If you're going to hang out with your dad, I'm going to look at the camera and tell you this one. If they go, you know, what do you want for Father's Day? What do you want for Christmas? And this is dad stuff. For some reason, I had the perfect answer, and I didn't understand it at the time. And later on, I like sat there and I like cried about it a little bit because I lost my dad. Thank you. I go, there's nothing you can buy me. There's nothing you can buy me. But I know what I want. And he goes, what is it? I said, I want this relationship for the rest of my life and this much appreciation. That's all I want. I want you to be like, hey, Dad, thanks. You know, like,
He's
hey,
at the Masters.
you know,
Yeah.
honestly,
Seriously.
like that's the thing. It's like, right?
Yeah.
But if you tell me today that I get to have that relationship with my son and my daughter and my wife for the rest of my life,
That's
That's
all.
it.
That's
Isn't
the
it-
best thing.
isn't it-
Anything else.
it.
Isn't it
Exactly.
funny how the material things just
Don't
really
matter.
mean
Don't
anything,
matter.
Don't
you
mean
know?
shit. You know, but what you're saying is true because, you know, you teach your kids, and then like I've talked to her, and I said, I think Lance is to the point now where I'm just his dad, and like he's
Yeah.
doing his own thing. But then I'll be in a
Yeah.
group situation, I'll hear him say stuff to people that I told him,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yes.
Well, I'll even give you the next level because like the one thing I love is seeing traits of my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, my mom, and my dad that I admire
Mhm.
being expressed out of my kids. Right?
Yeah.
That's when you make that big jump. So like our little family creed, live to honor those that have come before you, prepare the way for those yet to come.
That's pretty important
That
because I think the world lost a lot of that.
but it's easy to get back.
Yeah.
It's a phone call. It's a, hey, what are you doing? You know, hey, how's it going? Call your mom, call your dad, you know, say like the questions you're asking me, you know, like these little, like, what are you most proud of professionally? What are you most proud of personally? Ask your folks that one day.
Right.
Oh,
And
yeah.
just sit back and open a bottle of wine and smoke a cigar and just let them go.
And we see that across this country time and time again.
Yeah.
When we're on our trips, people tell us they like this, who we are because we have family and we're
Yes.
family. Everyone wants family and they love family.
Whether family is your mom and dad or
Whoever.
good
Whoever you
friends
pick.
or
Yeah.
whoever, whatever your family
Whoever you
is.
have in your life.
Right. But I think it's a little bit of a downer sometimes for me because I think our minds have gotten warped in this device that we call an iPhone or an Android. And I think you're doing, you know, you were doing, and you're going to get back on it.
Yeah.
But
This is my break
the
week.
things that you're doing are simple things.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take a lot of time. And why not pick up the phone and say hey to your mom or your dad? And why not call a friend you haven't talked to for 10 years? And why are we so consumed as people into this device? And we have to use it to keep promoting ourselves.
Sure. I got you.
Otherwise, I'd be like, forget it.
Oh.
And I think we're at a period of time in our country where people need to band together and quit separating each other. And I think
Okay.
prerequisite reading in school
Yep.
should be a Tom Brokaw's Greatest Generation book. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like learn from what it's not the same as it was years ago. Okay. But there's people that in the time of need, they band together.
Yep.
And that's what we need today is we need people to band together. And I don't care if you like this and I like that. And if we're cordial to each other,
yeah,
we can get along and disagree.
Mhm.
I have friends who we've described it as like a circle. We are on polar opposites politically, polar opposites, but we're great friends.
Right.
And I'll call him. I go, "What are you seeing on your algorithm?" And he'll tell me, or he'll call me, "What are you seeing on your algorithm?" I'll tell him.
Yeah.
I said, "Are you seeing behind my back?" And he goes, "Yes." I said, "I'm watching your back too. We're good?" He goes, "We're good." But going back to the generational part.
Yep.
I have a 21-year-old daughter and a 17-year-old son. We're in a weird middle point right now where the kids who were in high school and college during COVID.
Yep.
Mhm.
Got locked into screen. It got locked into I'm in house. I'm safe. Very formative years. When I was in that age, like I was going to Mexico at 16, right? I was doing some, like I had a parole officer. Okay, that's for possession and detonation of explosives. My dad was very pissed about this. Right, that's a real thing. So the one thing I would say is that generation is kind of migrating through.
Yeah.
But if you're a 21-year-old kid, right? And I get a firsthand view of this through my daughter and a lot of her friends.
Mhm.
They are the people that like said, "I'm never going in that box again."
Right.
They are out. They are going to bars. They are going to live music. They are like, I want every experience I possibly could have, and I want it all. They are like ripping it in half and eating the orange from the middle.
Good.
Right. My son, same thing. Like, I was joking with you guys. He got chased by cops the other day, and I couldn't be more proud of him because he was playing Ding Dong Ditch him. And I'm like, "How did it go?" He's like, "I had to hide in a bush for like 2 hours." And I'm like, "This is fantastic." He's like, "I thought you'd be mad." I'm like, "No, this is great. I love it. Like you're doing real things. You're not sitting like." And I'm like, he's like, "No, we're out there like ripping it around and going surfing and like going to the edge of the world and just bringing a cooler and some sandwiches and like paddling out in the ocean." And I'm like, that's living. That's it, man.
Right.
So this little part that's kind of moving through, I feel terrible for people who are like 17, juniors in high school when COVID hit. And then they went through like the end of high school. They got like it cut off and then into college. And then it's like, okay,
Right.
And moved their way through or went through college that way without being able to go out and like make mistakes where
Right.
like half the friends I have are because it was like a really terrible night and something really bad happened that we're never going to forget for the rest of our lives. I'm like, can you believe that happened? And it's like, yes. And we're going to be buddies forever because of this.
But that's, a lot of young people don't have parents that live that life and get out and bring their kids along. And then they want to do the same
Yep.
thing. You got to get out.
But on the other side, I'll even go younger now. I'm giving everybody a little bit of hope here, right?
Hopium.
Is-
Oh, there's a lot of hope.
One of the
called
things
hopium.
I love is like my cousins
Good drug.
are a few years younger than me, and they both have 2 kids, right? And we have a lot of people that are coming through the tasting room and things like that, which is awesome because we're like their little house and cupcakes and everything else.
Go up to Santa Ynez and go see
Come
the
on and
house.
see me.
You got to go
Great.
see the house.
Los Olivos, right on the corner, the house.
It's painted black like Johnny Cash. Right?
There you go.
What I'm seeing come through more and more is young families racking out kids.
Really?
Oh, and I'm like this. I'm like, we had a friend that came through and he said, "Hey, it's my wife's 35th birthday. Do you mind if we take over the backyard of the tasting room?" I'm like, "What day?" It was like a Sunday afternoon. I'm like, "No problem." Like Sunday's like kind of chill. I'm like, "No problem." I go, "How many people?" He's like, 35. I'm like, "Just buy wine. We're good." So we kind of cruised over after church and the whole thing and went back there. And there were 35 adults and there were probably 60 kids.
No way.
Oh, it's fantastic. Kids with shirts off, chocolate on their thing, their stuff. And I walked over there and he's like
Oh, God, we got
kind
caught.
of a thing. And I go, "This is fantastic."
Let me film
I'm like,
this.
"This is great." I'm like, "What's going on?" He's like, happy optimistic families, man. And I'm like,
Aw, love it.
let's go. Let's go. Right. And it was like, those kids are growing up, running around. I love our area because, count how many kids have broken arms in the elementary. Like, there's not a lot of broken arms anymore. Right. But like in our elementary, there's always like 2 kids rolling around like this with some dirtbag thing.
I love
What's
it.
that?
It's
I love it.
fantastic.
And what does he say?
Oh, that's cool.
You
Thank you.
you didn't have to do that. We appreciate it though. You rock. Thank you. And we saw
Oh,
your
that's
other
fantastic.
comment. That's awesome. What's his other comment above there? Thank you. That below it, right there. Thank you for having me. Thank you all for the time and reaching out to all of us. Thank you.
And thank you for the comments on our drop on YouTube yesterday and today. We got back to you on those, so we appreciate the support.
Love it. Thanks, man.
So what's next for you? Are you going on vacation? Are you? I mean,
What's
are you
next?
you gonna go up and run
Um,
the tractor around the?
I blew a transmission on my tractor.
Did you?
Yeah,
Oh.
that was a real. Actually, like, I'm not gonna lie, man. I kind of cheered up on that one because I'm like, what did I do to you? You know. So the name of we have a John Deere 5525N. This is Tractor Talk with Keith, right? But it's like the last John Deere that doesn't have a computer in it,
No.
which is like,
Oh, you love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Sure.
so her name is Constance Sorrow. We beat the crap out of it constantly.
You want me to paint that on it?
I do actually.
I'll
yeah,
come up with letter Constance Sorrow.
While we have a barbecue.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tri-tips
Tell
are
us
ready to
what
rock.
coming. What coming.
And so right now we're doing a top off all the way through it, and I'm like, what else is wrong? We're gonna fix everything. And so that's one. And I'll get it back in May. So what else? I'm turning 50 this year, which
You're still a kid.
Still a kid.
baby.
Yep.
Yeah, you're a
But-
baby.
Well, you gotta.
I know I'm getting getting the oil checked, so I'm doing that.
Have them check your PSA blood.
I have a great doctor in town. I also do the factor, which, by the way, that's a free plug for that.
What is it?
So it's an app, and you go in, and they do everything. Like, you go in and take blood, they rip through everything from top to bottom, and then instead of you sit there next to a doctor, and now I just send my factor thing to my doctor, and so he can look at it, and it's like PSA is doing all the screening, all the
Right.
cancer screenings, all the everything, top to bottom, shows you where you're at, gives you your metabolic age. So right now I'm pretty happy because
You're 30.
I'm 38 actually.
38.
38.
You look
I'm
it.
kind
I'm
of proud of
telling
it,
you.
know?
Yeah.
I lost a lot of weight a couple years ago, and I'm very proud of that. And then my wife told me, you need to start eating something or you're going to be manorexic. So I moved carbs back into my life and put on another 15, 20 pounds. But now I'm pretty happy. So it's good.
You look great.
I don't know. What am I excited about? I'm excited about having another year at home with my son, and before he goes off to college somewhere. And then me and Heather are going to be empty nesters, which we're already having lots of conversations about, what does this look like, kind of a thing, because it's kind of like retiring from the job you didn't want to retire from
Right.
a little
It
bit.
is.
But it gets better the
Then you
whole
get
time.
used to it.
No, I'm good.
There's always very cool
Oh.
change and things that happen, and it's like, I'm very fortunate. We're very fortunate. My parents live a mile from us.
Yep.
They're 92 and 93. I have our daughter and her kids
Yep.
and Lance, and we're all within a
You-
mile.
you guys
And
have
we have barbecues.
You all have beautiful families.
Yes.
And we're
Yes,
lucky
we are.
to have that and see it, so we get to live it.
And here's
Hello.
another
It's a
beautiful
full-blown
one.
party.
Yay.
Am I taking up all your time right now?
No.
This is fun.
So yeah.
I was listening on the way. I'm like, they're pouring wine.
Yeah.
See?
As you know, the Tulane wives are in the
This
house.
is Dad.
Okay.
Community and communion.
Yes,
Here we are.
yes.
Cheers,
Cheers,
everybody.
guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.
So while we're drinking this, Keith, where can they find you?
SaarloosandSons.com.
Is
that was it. That's
Is
it.
there a wine club there?
Yeah, there is a wine club.
And
have,
what do you get with that wine club?
So we are unique because we don't sell in any stores. We don't sell in any restaurants. It's all from our ground to your glass, pretty much. And we do have a club. It's not really a club because wine clubs are dumb. It's true. Usually wine clubs, they send you whatever they have the most of. It's like a clearinghouse, but ours is called an allocation. So every time we make an allocation, I've made, I think I'm on 78. When I first started doing it, I would do something kind of like this with a video camera, and I'd burn DVDs and put DVDs in with our shipments. So when people would get them, they could watch them. So we're on YouTube like as well. We did Vimeo for a while because I put music behind it. YouTube's like,
You're on
no.
YouTube, Too Late in Life too.
I am. And so I make a whole video of like what you're getting, why you're getting it, tell you the whole story, which is really fun. And then all of our wines are meant to be in a collection. So the next one that's going out in May is Mom, Dad, and Soulmates. So Mother's Day, Father's Day.
I like that.
And so everything is meant to be drank kind of in the
With your
3-month
partners?
Yes. And that, yeah, in that 3-month period, you know, and so everything kind of has a point. And then the summertime one, we have a wine that's made by my daughter, which Brielle, she's been making wine since she was 5, and that's not a joke. We have that one. We have another Grenache, which this one has a picture of my son on it. The other one is my nephew. So same stock, but 2 different lives.
Yeah,
yeah.
There you go.
I like that.
And then we have a wine called Hanjacher, which secretly means shithead.
I'll try that. For sure.
Yeah, that's a great one. And that's a Grenache Blanc, Syrah, and Mourvedre. So it's like perfect summertime. And then right after that, we're already getting into harvest, which is Honor Prepare, which is our Petit Syrah and our Creed, our Family Tree, which is a GSM, which is everything that we make. And then Courage, which is the wine we make from my great uncle John. And it's perfect for like holidays and families. And we kind of just change every label every year. Everything's brand new, and it makes it all incredibly hard, but incredibly worth it. You know, it's like the difference between, you were talking about sign painting, right? I think about that a lot, where there's wines that are printing presses, where they're just trying to make a beverage.
Right.
And then there's wines which are paintings, like one off, that's it, one time, and you're done. So
Right.
everything we do is one off and in person.
That's good.
Can I ask you a question? And
Yeah,
I think
maybe.
I remember this.
I'm
but
here.
Like,
I'm
and maybe
watching.
you already talked about it when I wasn't
Yeah.
in here, but when you moved out there, wasn't it Apple Farms?
Yes.
Mhm.
Did you
That-
talk about that
We
already?
talked about it a little bit.
Okay, sorry, I
The-
didn't hear
Laura,
The fun,
you should have listened
But
on
you
the
know,
radio.
she remembered though. She
but
remembered.
the one, I mean, we were talking about Heather a little bit. And, a buddy of mine said it to me a couple weeks ago, where he broke up with his girlfriend, and I said, oh, "What? Why?" He goes, "I want to look at a woman the way you look at your wife."
Mhm.
And I went, "Oh, geez." And I said that's not
easy.
That's not easy. But it's not easy because when I look at her, I see, just like you guys, right? I see the woman that I'm like, hey, we're gonna move up to Santa Ynez Valley, and we're gonna have a couple coffee shops and grow apples, which is like, okay. And when we moved
It's a
up there,
Saarloos man brain.
that's right,
I'm
Saarloos
telling you.
man brain. And
Why don't you
You
have
need to
coffee
make a hat
at your
that
place?
way.
A little coffee
no,
shop
I had
there.
2 coffee shops.
Oh,
And
before,
they were great.
prior.
And then now there's friends of ours have the Good Seed, and they're better at it than me. So I'm like, perfect.
Go at it.
I'm like, you could make that, right? We have olive trees, and I don't make olive oil. I'm like, I could go buy that, right? But then, like with Heather, when we moved up there, it was a barn, a literal. It was an equipment shed, and we rebuilt it, the whole inside, and it had a potbelly stove for heat, no air conditioning, tin roof, wonderful place, and we had water and electricity. And the crazy part about it is, like, we moved in and we had a 2-week-old baby.
I was just going to ask you.
Yeah, that we slept in between us because it was September and it was freezing cold. And we just moved in and moved everything, and this is what we're doing, right? And it was like, oh, I got to pick today, and got up at 2 a.m. and left. And my wife was like, can you build a fire before you leave because it's freezing? And I'm like, yep. And did that and went out the door. And then here we are 20 some years later. And I'm like, that woman's insane. Why would she?
Cheers to
follow me?
Heather.
Yeah,
Cheers to Heather.
Real hero of this
Cheers
whole
to
thing.
Heather. That's right.
As we like to say, behind every semi-successful man, there's
A
much
good
more.
woman.
That's
There's,
right.
but they're not behind. They're out in front and just desperately trying to keep up. That's the one. Running as fast as you can. Mm.
Awesome. That's
What else do you want to know? I mean, it's been an hour and a half. I'm sorry to bore everybody.
awesome.
This has been great. If you're ready to pile up, we're ready to pile up. If you want to keep
No,
rolling.
honestly, just from me and watching you guys over the years, it is really impressive. You guys, both of you. I mean, what year? How old were you both when you started this?
53.
6 years ago, was I 60?
You were 60.
60.
We reinvented
53.
ourselves at the ripe old age in our 50s.
But that's amazing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
It is.
And to make a huge jump like that, and
I'm all about life. I'm all about living. I'm all about every day doing something.
know.
And if I have nothing to do one day, I enjoy the nothing.
Right.
Yeah, as you should.
Yes.
You've earned it.
Yes. Yes.
How's the wine?
oh,
The wine's great.
How's your wine?
I'm
Where's
trying to
your
catch
wine?
up. I'm
Great.
trying to catch up.
It's really good wine.
Mhm.
It's very good.
If you're in California, again,
oh,
go
we
to Los
ship
Olivos.
everywhere.
Go to
Oh, they
Saarloos,
ship
that's
everywhere.
right.
We'll get it to Utah if you really want it, if you try hard enough.
You
No,
can get
it's
it through
really
Utah, huh?
Mm.
Yeah.
We might have a
Utah
guy
State.
drive it in.
Yeah.
On our way to
You know,
Sturgis,
they
we
started
delivered.
doing that with strawberries.
Yep.
The people come out here, pick up the strawberries that same
Why you
day.
can't get them in?
Not the
They're
kind that you get.
California strawberries.
Santa Maria
Wow.
strawberries,
Yeah, really.
Lompoc strawberries are the best in the world. We actually are the strawberry capital of the United States.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, have you seen the guy walking around with straw hat, like in front of the tasting room in the summer, and he
He's
sells
got straw.
flats? Oh,
Well, we
Okay.
have by our house. They trucks will pull
Yep.
up in the back. They just the
There's nothing
beds
better.
No, there's not.
when you
And
bite into them, you're like, oh, this
And
is what a
we're
strawberry
like,
is supposed to
the
taste
strawberry
like.
lady's out. Oh, the strawberry lady's out. You
Mhm.
just can't wait to buy.
And
It's
my
not like
mom
buying
likes
from
to
the
make
store.
No.
jams and preserves and different things. And
Oh,
so
those
she
are heavenly.
waits and she'll get those. And now that they show up in Provo and Orem, and
That's awesome.
yeah,
No, but
Nice.
back to you guys. I think like anybody who's watching this or anybody who follows you guys, the best. It would be terrible to go through your whole life with a regret or a wish or I shoulda, right? And the only people I've ever met that, and I like to think of all of my friends, of anybody, because my wife says I have very weird friends. I really do. It's like it is a spectrum. You know what I mean? She's like, "Who's sleeping on our house?" I'm like, "So."
See, again, we've never slept at his
I know.
house. I don't know what the.
It's probably here's the thing because you're with your wives and it's like you're like I'm gonna go to Alisal.
We like sleeping at people's
Yeah,
houses.
fair enough.
Laura likes, if you're missing silverware, don't worry about it. There's a purse full of stuff.
The funny thing is I had. Go ahead.
That's okay. Finish your story.
Oh no, but like my Heather will laugh because she's like, guys will come in and they'll be like driving through or going somewhere or whatever, and usually they don't have their wives. That's like 90%, and they're just coming through. And my kids, like even when they were little, Cash walks in and he's like, "Huh?" And it's just somebody sleeved or a tattoo on their face. Just you have no idea, right?
Right.
Big B.
Yeah, so he's like, "You got scribbles on your face." Like I remember he said that to someone, the scribble guy,
Yeah.
kind of a thing. And she's never like thought about it twice, and it's always just like it's like the real saint of the operation is without a doubt my wife, because
Yeah.
it's like no matter who comes through, she's like, "All right, you're okay with them?" Yep. It's like, but in that vein, there's always something I admire about someone that I consider a friend. It's like, what's the basis? It's like there's something I admire, and the fact that you guys are pushing it out, for me and everybody else who's watching this and following you, you give a level of aspiration where somebody could say, I'm going to follow my dream. I'm going to go try this thing. I'm going to reinvent myself. It's going to be a tremendous amount of work, but I think it's going to be worth it. And I think that has a lot to do with. Oh, thank you. That has a lot to do with you guys at a ripe old age going for it, and then you two going, who's sleeping on our couch? Okay, I guess so.
We gotta live, right?
That's true.
That's right.
But it's like, when you go to a younger generation, you're like, oh yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be out there chasing your dreams and things
Right.
like that.
Right.
And then some people just get locked into the boredom of life, and they're like, I'm too old to do this, or I'm too this, or whatever. But it's like it's really admirable to see what you guys.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
I don't think we thought when we first started. I mean, we had business plan and we did all this stuff, you know, but
And then the first punch gets landed, and you're like, okay, that's
well,
it.
no, I mean, I don't think we thought it would end up the way it's
It
ended
would
up.
turn into this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I didn't expect it, quite frankly. And I think I've been saying this for a little bit of time, but you know, there's a movie that talks about Braveheart or whatever it was. It's time to stop honoring yourself and
Yeah.
honor others. And I think that's what drives me today is the fact that we can honor others and that we can bring a story to the table that people actually watch.
Yep.
And they see it a lot of times on their television. So it's almost feeling like a television show.
Yeah.
And it's making them feel good. And
You guys are
what better way? It's like getting a baby chick, you know,
Yeah.
and you're just like so happy and smiley, and we're doing that
watching
for
it grow.
people.
You guys
know?
are the two-wheel Huell Hausers, man. I love it.
That's what I've always
I think
it's
great.
explained. I'm like, they're kind of like Huell Hauser. If you're from California, you know Huell Hauser.
100%.
that's what they
California
are.
gold.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly. I just
That's
watched an
good.
episode
Pretty
the other
good.
day.
I
We
can't-
watch a lot of that.
I can't quote the guy 100%, but someone told me once, you're living, and he said, you don't need a bucket list because you're living life on every day, something like that. And I remember that
Yep.
when he said that, I'm like, yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yep.
You know,
But-
we all want to live.
You still get flat tires.
Yep.
You still break your leg.
Yep.
You still go through medical problems. You'll still go through all of these things.
Life.
But what the kicker of that is, you're not letting it slow you down.
No.
Like
No way.
a lot of people hit their first obstacle and they're like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, okay, no. If that's going to kill you, that this is not where you stop the thing. You're like, you're going to just keep moving.
Right.
And that's a fantastic.
Well, and we're blessed to have family that support what
Yeah.
we're doing.
Well, you have great
know?
partners.
Yeah,
That's like 99%
100%.
of life
Yeah.
in general. It's like, find somebody you look at and you're like, I'm sure you look over and you're like, I can't believe you're backing me on this. Like,
Well,
yeah, you can do it.
I think your wife is like,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
My wife's nuts.
my whole thing.
I wouldn't back me. Are you kidding me?
Right? That's what I'm
like-
saying.
She trusts
Yeah,
you.
I'm like,
She trusts you.
Listen, if I was as good looking as my wife, man, I'm like,
See you
what are you doing?
later.
As my wife said, she goes, "You're a penny stock when I found you." I knew it was gonna go on.
Did she really?
Of course.
I love that.
She's like this. She's like, I had high stock price, and she's like, but I knew you were gonna come up.
with
She
my
bought low.
with my
She
help.
bought
Yeah.
low, yeah.
She's like this. Yeah, but
I got you.
100%. When you come home, like my grandfather always had this little thing that he taped to his like desk lamp, which I think about a lot, which is, the hardest part about being the boss is you have to make decisions that you're not 100% sure of, but have to be made anyway, regardless. Right. And I think about that a lot because like somebody goes, do you know what you're doing? I'm like,
No.
very little clue. Very little clue. I'm like, but I just keep getting up and I keep trying to push forward and push your, like my dad said it really well. How far did you push your rock today?
Yeah.
I'm like, I got about an inch.
And sometimes that rock rolls back a little bit.
Oh,
Right.
big time.
But you got to get back behind it and
Yeah.
keep on
It's like,
going.
oh,
Yeah.
you get forward.
Yeah.
And then an inch a day
Right.
leads to miles leads, and you're like, yeah, no one ever said it was going to be easy. But one of the things that you were saying, I'd like to go back to, which is your life really starts moving when you kill your ego.
Yeah.
I think like you guys all like started nodding immediately. And I think that the thing I've learned from an older generation is when you realize like you're not God, just so you know, and you need to humble yourself a little bit here. And then when you see somebody on the side of the road, you stop. When you see somebody in need, you help. When you see little old lady, putting her stuff. Like I love puppies,
We
babies,
help.
little old ladies.
Yeah.
That's my wheelhouse. It's like you see them putting it, and you go, "Can I push your cart back for you?" They're like, "Yeah, oh, thank you." And then you push. She feels good.
Right.
You
You
feel
feel
good.
good. Yeah.
That's true.
2 weeks later,
Hold the door open for someone and watch what happens.
it is. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Right? The minute you start getting out of your own way and what you conjure up in your head and you start realizing, my son said it the other day where he went on a school trip to Europe, which was unbelievable.
Nice.
Like, he was like, European history, Dad, they're going to go. And with our teacher, it's going to be awesome. I'm like, okay, let's go. You're going.
Can I chaperone? I
Yeah.
would say that.
Yeah,
Can I
totally.
chaperone?
But he called me from the Tube in London. And I said, what have you learned? He's like, motorcycle trips. If you come back the same person, the trip has failed. Right? The trip has failed if you come back the same person. I said, what have you learned? Because I was sitting in the Tube, right? And I was watching, people get on and off the subway tube. And he goes, some people were dressed in tuxedos or really, really nicely. Some people were pulling a cart behind them. Some people were dressed poorly. Some people were, it was like a group of kids that were like going to school. Like,
Interesting that he noticed that.
yes. And he said, and I realized that everybody getting on and off had a full and rich life just like me. And I said, that there's a word for that. He goes, what is it? I said, the word is sonder, or sounder, S-O-U-N-D-E-R. And I go, that is when you come to the realization that, like, when you're sitting on the 405 freeway and you look around at everybody around you, they're just like you. Even though we feel like individuals, this whole game of life is just massively multiplayer. And if you can help somebody and make them feel a little bit better, you got to go do it. Because some people are having a bad day, and you could be the reason that they had a good day.
It's easy to change them too.
Easy.
And
You know-
sometimes it's just a smile.
That's
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Saying hi.
That's my other favorite thing. If somebody cuts you off, you don't give them the finger. You give them the,
That
Give
was
them
you.
the thumbs
Yeah.
down. You know, like
You're
this.
like
Hey,
this.
Yeah.
it hurts way more.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Well, everything you're saying, I always love this quote that Robin Williams said. He goes, I have no idea what I'm going to do tomorrow.
Yeah,
And then he paused and said, but isn't that exciting?
totally.
And that's what riding is like. And that's what we do. And everywhere you go, something, and we always say fate in our
Yep.
channel,
Yep.
something happens
Yep.
that changes what we do, or a great thing. Or it just makes our life that much better.
Like on any motorcycle trip you go on, when something goes wrong, you're like, trip started.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like something, if something,
One for the books.
right.
Yeah.
You're like, we had a plan. This is the first punch. No more plan. Trip just started.
I was a river guide. And when I was
Yeah.
a river guide, the people that at the end of the trip, the person that fell out of the raft had the most to say
It has the
and
story.
the
right?
biggest
Yeah.
memory.
Yes.
That's right.
Not the people that had a
Yes.
perfect,
That's true.
So speaking of, can I ask a personal
You
question?
can ask anything you want. I've had a couple glasses of
how
wine. I'm feeling
often
great.
do you poop your pants
What?
when you are taking that tractor?
Oh,
Oh, okay.
you mean Pucker Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wait, there's a pause in there.
that was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to call my mom. I'm not allowed to tell my wife what I'm doing. Like if I'm going up the hill and mowing or ripping or doing anything, I tell them later, right? Because I've gone down that hill and literally had lock up and just
Kept
like
sliding.
had to like dry, which motorcycles will do. There's some really nice parts about being on a bike because everybody's had a little bit of like, what you know, and you kind of rode it through.
Yep.
Coming down, you're like, okay, the brakes are not working, and then you're like, all of a sudden you're grabbing gears and you're throwing it in first and you're dropping it down and you're like, okay, and putting gas to it. So your tires are moving instead of sliding. And then all of a sudden you're in control, right? Then you're driving it out of a skid coming down the hill, which is happened more than once. And then you get to the bottom and you go, whew.
Yeah.
You're like, okay. And then
I'm done.
There you go.
no,
I can do
no.
it again.
And then what do? You're like,
Right
well, I gotta
back
mow
at
the
it.
rest of this. And you're like, okay, I gotta. And then you're like, well, okay, and let's go back up the hill.
You need to come and see his tour and go see Pucker Flats. I mean, it's crazy.
The
What's
the
it-
one coming down and the off-camber one, I've
Yeah.
been on two wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
and had the wires pin me closed in the door.
Oh.
Where I'm leaning like this. I'm looking, and the wheels are.
You need
like-
to get to the high side.
And I go, but you're in a cab, right? And I'm leaning against wires, and I'm like, I can't get out of the door.
Right.
And I'm like, well, today's the day, and then all of a sudden you're like grabbing gear, you're throwing it, you're standing up on the one side, you're pushing your foot in the, like, not just 4-wheel drive, but like the differential lock. And you're like, we're driving through the wires right now. We're going to take out about 10 vines and we're going to back this thing up. And you have like a piece of machinery that's behind, because you have 1 inch on each side.
Right.
It's like pinstriping for like 9 hours, and then you back it up and you're like, and then you get it out and you have to back all the way up. There's a few times I've gone, okay, that's enough for today. Time
What's
for a
that
cold
last
beer.
comment right here at the bottom from Het?
This one?
Yeah. I stopped getting mad at people and started praying for them, and their safe travels and for people traveling around them.
That is exactly
I like
right.
that. Yeah,
I
pray
like
for
that.
them.
Yes, pray. That's
As
a
we like to
good-
say,
that.
pray for your enemies.
And,
Yeah,
and
It
yes,
really pisses them off.
Thank
yes,
you for
those are
sharing that. I will do that now too.
those are challenge coins, and yes, we'd be honored to have one on our wall from you.
Absolutely.
Wow, I like
It's
that.
fantastic. I had a whole cigar, having a great night.
Yeah.
I mean, and this has been going on. People
I know,
are
now I
talking to
gotta
each
go watch
other.
it.
People are, and maybe what we should do is, if you want to, because this is going to live on Spotify
Sure.
forever and Apple and all the different ones. I don't know if you want to say something to your future grandkids or your
Oh,
kids, or it'll be there.
You started laughing. I like that. I think the perpetuity
Oh,
place,
Paul.
or a good way to end this is the way I've ended every video I've ever made, which is, it's very simple. And I think that, again, my dad passed away 6 years ago, and the best example I've had is how to be a dad, right? Which is if you just treat people better than yourself. That's the smallest, easiest thing you can do, right? If you do that, you're already ahead of 99% of everybody. Because what I have learned in the last 6 years of even when I lost my dad is that the weight doesn't get heavier, you get stronger. That's one. Two, the world thinks that this game, because this is all just a game that we're playing, right? The world thinks the game is about loot, but I know people who have billions of dollars, and one of those guys said to me, "You know who the most miserable person on the yacht is?" I said, "No." He goes, "The guy who owns it."
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay, that's pretty good advice, right?" So the world is not about loot; it's about XP, which is experience points. And the more XP you gain, the more relationships you build. After my dad passed away, it's kind of like in a video game where you die and all your coins fly everywhere or whatever, right? It's like all of a sudden it's like the things that were so important are like, oh, we need to sell that, we got to get rid of that, things all of a sudden they're almost meaningless.
Yeah.
Right? But all the people who came up to me after my dad passed that said, "You don't know this, but I was in a tight spot. Your old man helped me out. And he never told anybody, but I'm telling you." And I said, "Really?" He goes, "Yep." And I said, "Okay." And that happened over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I said, "Okay, well, if I want to continue his legacy, if I want to honor those that have come before me, and it's my job to pick that up and run with that same ambition, that same the wise old energy is a good way to put it, where it's like help other people out, be kind. If you can step in and make their day better, do it. Have a lot of fun. Try to make as much positive change as you can. And then the plus symbol is prepare the way for those yet to come. So all the kids that are coming up next after you, your own kids, the kids that come into your house and pile in, be a good example to them. Treat those kids like they're your kids. Give everybody a nickname that hopefully they love. We have Good Boy. We got Shame. Shame is a good one because we found a couple of beers in his backpack and we poured them out on the table. I go, "You're drinking a beer in my house?" And he goes, "Yeah." And then I'm like, give me your backpack, and he poured them all out, and it looked like he went in the garage and took one of these, and went, and all of his friends were like, shame, and so now he's shamed, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, it's like, do things like we talked about the Masters, and the reason I wanted to do that with my son was because at some point he's going to be 50 years old, and I hope I'm sitting in the chair next to him. But if I'm not, I want him to be able to sit every April and point at the TV, and hopefully he's got his kids around him and say, I went to that with your grandpa when I was 17 years old. We smoked a cigar and we had a cold drink and we had the best time of all time, and I'll never forget it. Yeah. And he'll have that for the rest of his life. So honor those that have come before you, prepare the way for those yet to come.
Well, there's way more great, really good people out in this world than not. So,
I totally agree. And we killed 2 bottles of wine, and this is great. This
Well,
is fantastic.
And I just want you to know I'm a pretty good judge of character. And from the first day I met you, what I see in you is your heart.
Appreciate it.
And it's always been open and warm and welcoming and kind. And you welcomed us in your not your home because you
not
won't
to his
barbecue.
barbecue.
But your
Listen, I'm going to take you to Maddie's. They make a way better burger.
But your second home.
Maddie's is the best.
And I'm proud to see what you've done with you and your wife, with your kids, because they've turned out to be just wonderful
Amazing.
kids and having a good time. And you know what? That's what life is about, is really enjoying those moments that you're talking about, because that's what we're made up of, is moments. Right. And sometimes there's bad moments.
Yeah.
I don't know you as well to say you don't get angry at things. I've never seen that.
No, I get
but I see this in you, and that's something that for me is important when I see a person, is what's inside of them,
I think the difficult part is more for my wife than me, because she's like, golly, she's like, there's a lot of highs and lows in this thing. She's like, you go from this to this, come on. It's like, she's logic, right?
Right.
But again, it's like, what kind of life you want to live?
Yeah.
It's like, you want to be the closed off, tough guy. I just think every time I hear that tough guy term, I just think coward, right? It is so much harder to just tear off the armor and just be a living, beating, open heart, and be like open and available and ready to be there for a lot of people. Yeah. And if you could, what kind of world would we live in, right? If every single person today decides tomorrow, I'm going to pick up a little litter, or I'm going to tell somebody I love you. I'm going to push the cart away. I'm going to wave somebody into traffic. Right. I'm going to call somebody and tell them how much they mean to me. We literally have the ability to do that individually right now.
And good things come back to you.
And it comes back in buckets.
Yeah.
You pour out a glass and buckets come back.
Yeah.
It's great.
So, this might be a record show. I think it's the longest show we've had.
I tend to do that.
And we definitely have a special thanks to.
What do you mean? It's 2 hours.
I know. Is that long for the show?
This is a special thanks out to Paul over there. He's gone an extra hour sitting there looking at everything, monitoring the sound. So thank you, Paul.
Paul, yep.
Paul, put the
Paul's
camera
a pro.
on.
Yeah, Paul.
Thanks for having me.
Yes,
Paul.
I agree with everything you said, man. You just got to be nicer to people,
Right?
and people will be nicer to you. It'll come
That's
back.
right.
Why can't we all just do that?
Completely
Like
agree.
today, let's all just make the decision.
Paul's a nice guy.
I
He's
say
always
Paul
a
is
nice guy.
always
He
a
likes
nice,
people.
happy you are. You're always
He likes people.
positive.
Yeah.
I learned that a long time ago.
I
Be
mean,
nice to people will come back.
isn't it just? It
So
sounds-
thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you, Paul.
So hey,
Paulie.
subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Oh,
cheers.
a little bit of wine.
And
Boy,
tell
the
your,
wine
That's
has hit,
Saarloos.
baby.
and tell your friends. And we want to get to 100,000. Follow us on our Route 66 trip. Join us on the ride. Check out our video that we dropped yesterday, and we have another one that's going to be fun. this coming Wednesday.
And Keith, thank you.
Thank you
I know
guys.
you're
I
down
love
in
it. It's-
LA and you're headed. You've got about an hour and a half
Yeah.
drive up.
Yep.
But
It'll be easy though.
thank you for doing that.
No, it's
And
fantastic.
thanks for the wine
No, I love it.
and
I
the
mean,
shirts.
you come see me all the time. I gotta come see you.
Aw.
Fantastic. Say hi to the family.
That's
Let's get you
great.
some gear.
We had our wives with us here. Everything's good.
What do they need to do?
They need to give a thumbs up, comment,
Ring that bell.
and subscribe.
And we love to-
Holy mackerel! This is a
And we-
machine.
And we love to read your comments. So please, those
Uh.
just are always special to be able to.
You
read
got
those.
your comments make us keep going. We love it. It's inspiration.
With that, we'll see you
Down the road.
Sorry.